threatening hundreds of homes.
KSL News Radio's Adam Small begins our live team coverage. Utah Fire Watch. Adam?
Amanda, the Silver King fire is burning on the Beaver-Paiute County border. According to Utah Fire Info, the fire has already burned more than 10,800 acres, and it's roughly doubled its size 3 times since just Saturday morning. FEMA says the fire, at least as of yesterday, was threatening nearly 300 homes, and some Marysville homeowners have been evacuated. KSL TV actually spoke with some of those locals who are trying to protect their homes, including Ellery Gowdley.
It doesn't feel real. Like a terrible, terrible nightmare, honestly.
This fire was started by lightning and is still 0% contained. We'll keep you updated. Live, Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
A fire broke out at a commercial pallet manufacturing facility in Logan over the weekend as well. Fire officials say the exterior of the building was damaged, along with a semi-truck and pallet material. Multiple departments responded to the fire. Luckily, no one was injured, and the cause is still under investigation.
An old grill is believed to have started a fire responsible for destroying several homes in Price. KSL News Radio's Michael Commute continues our team coverage. Michael?
Amanda, it all started yesterday afternoon, and Fire Chief David Johnson says this blaze started at Castle Heights Drive before it began to grow.
First reporting units advised that there were one structure fully engulfed, threatening other structures. Upon arrival of the engine, there was 2 more houses involved.
Now, fortunately, everyone was safely evacuated, but 3 families are left displaced and 1 person is in the hospital because of this fire. The grill that started it all was evidently worn down and unable to contain its embers. Reporting live, Michael Commit, KSL News Radio.
Utah is number 2 in the country for building new homes in high fire risk areas in the last decade. It's one reason why Utah Insurance Commissioner John Pike says some insurance companies are balking at coverage, but he also says the state can encourage communities to be more prepared for fires.
We could consider requiring fire-safe construction. Some states have done that. We could promote programs such as FireWise. It's a program, and communities voluntarily can go through and kind of become certified.
Pike says insurance companies can decline coverage or raise rates for homeowners in those high-risk areas.
KSL's top national stories now. Project 2025 is getting attention from Democratic lawmakers. It's a plan for an overhaul of the federal government, drafted by former Trump administration officials. ABC's Catherine Faulders explains.
What Biden's campaign has pointed to is that the current spokesperson for the Trump campaign, her name's Caroline Leavitt, that she appeared actually in a 2023 video promoting Project 2025's training program. Now, she would say, wait a second, I didn't work at the Trump campaign at the time. I was working somewhere else. But the point is, the point that Democrats are trying to show is this direct link, if you will, to Trump, the Trump campaign, and this group.
The former president is insisting he has nothing to do with the project.
The Boeing company will plead guilty to a criminal fraud charge stemming from 2 deadly crashes of 737 MAX jetliners. Here's ABC's Chuck Severson.
The plea deal must receive the approval of a federal judge to take effect. The Justice Department says the government determined that Boeing violated an agreement that had protected it from prosecution for more than 3 years, deceiving regulators. For the aircraft maker, the choice was a guilty plea and a more than $240 million fine or face a trial. Boeing also agrees to an independent monitor and investing millions more in safety programs.
The 2 crashes killed 346 people. In a separate court filing, attorneys for families of crash victims are opposing the plea deal.
First look traffic now on a Monday morning, and here is Andy Farnsworth.
And Amanda, we got a crash out in Tooele County on SR 36, which is Main Street in Tooele, around 600 North. It's blocking a couple of lanes. We've also got a little bit of delay Mountain View at 3500 South on the west side of Salt Lake County. But the main corridor freeway is all moving just fine. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
We now know the names of the 2 people killed in an accident in Ogden Canyon this weekend.
The accident involving a tow truck with a bulldozer on back and an SUV claimed the life of the CEO of Clearfield-based Lifetime Products, Richard David Hendrickson, and his daughter Sally. Hendrickson's wife and 2 other family members suffered non-life-threatening injuries. UHP says a bulldozer on the back of the tow truck fell off, crashing into the SUV, traveling westbound on SR 39 about 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Governor Spencer Cox and Senator Mike Lee both sent statements on Sunday. Governor Cox saying Hendrickson was a friend and an incredible leader. Another family member was out of the country at the time of Saturday's crash. Mark Jackson, KSL News Radio.
A woman is pleading with drivers to secure your load and check your undercarriage after a large piece of metal flew through her windshield. KSL TV's Kirsten Nunez reports after meeting with Hope McCurdy.
Just last year, Utah Highway Patrol responded to more than 18,000 calls related to road hazards. Now, 420 of those caused a crash. And like Hope's, a handful of those were caught on camera.
It's definitely one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me, and one of the most miraculous things I've probably walked away from.
Authorities believe the debris is a leaf spring from a suspension kit, and it possibly sheared off because it came from an overloaded trailer.
2 bodies of water in the high Uintas are going to be poisoned off to kill off the non-native fish. Tanya Kiefer-Selby with Wildlife Resources says that rotenone will soon be put into the South Fork of Sheep Creek and Heatwave Creek to kill the brook and brown trout.
So it's a temporary closure. It just affects those treated waters, and it prohibits the public from entering the water, drinking the water from the sources in the treatment areas, and then hiking and other access will remain open.
Kiefer-Selby says people should not recreate or fish or let their dogs go in the water in those lakes until the treatments are complete. After the treatment, Colorado cutthroat, which are native fish, will be reintroduced to Heatwave later this year into the South Fork of Sheep Creek in 2025.
It looks pretty quiet out there, but we do have a crash. It's on Main Street in Tooele with northbound traffic down a lane. We'll check that and the rest of your commute, traffic and weather together coming up next.
Listen to KSL for news to get exactly what you want.
Stories about what's going to affect me.
Traffic. If I want to know now, I'll go to KSL Radio.
Hear the important stories, the stories that affect you.
On KSL News Radio.
If you're a sports fan, you need to be at the biggest sports fanatic event ever created, Ultimate Sports Bash. Happening this weekend at Mountain America Expo Center. Watch performances by the dunk team that you've seen perform at the Utah Jazz Games, pickleball, wrestling, and half-pipe performers, with clinics and panels with some of your favorite athletes and coaches, like Ute football coach Kyle Whittingham. Meet your heroes, like Jazz royalty Brian Russell and Greg Ostertag, BYU alum, Minnesota Vikings QB Jaron Hall, Utes alum, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver Britton Covey, and Wheels, formerly of Nitro Circus. There's even a sports car show. All the panels, performances, photo ops, and autographs you can smash into 2 days. Tickets on sale now at ultimatesportsbash.com, and now offering a 2-day family pass for just $150. Get yours now at ultimatesportsbash.com. Get triple rewards on your Rewards Visa card from Cyprus Credit Union when you spend on gas and travel from now through August. Learn more or apply today at cypruscu.com.
Healthcare with human kindness is here. It's at Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advance healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Together, we have a common purpose, partnering with you in health and healing using powerful medicine, powerful technology, and the greatest power of all, human kindness. You'll know it when you see it, because human kindness is in every care site and in every caregiver. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
Guess it's that time of year, isn't it, when we're back on the Utah Fire Watch this morning, and that fire down there in Beaver County has tripled its size, I think Adam was saying, 3 times just over the weekend, and causing some concerns, threatening hundreds of homes right now. We'll keep an eye on that for you coming up. It's 6:09, time for a look at traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. We go back over to Andy Farnsworth.
Well, if you're on I-15, it's a great drive from Draper to downtown. It's really been a little bit busy on Mountain View. The northbound stop-and-go traffic that was building around 35th South is gone, but I see a pretty heavy stretch right now going south from 4100 up the hill towards 54th in west side of Kearns. Don't see any problems along SR 201 from the west side. Heather?
Seeing a little bit of slowing right now on I-84. This is westbound after you pass the exit to get to Mountain Green, but before the on-ramp from Mountain Green. Not sure if the semi just moving slowly there, or possibly there's a crash or debris in the way, but we'll keep an eye on it. Otherwise, you've got good speeds on the other freeways through Weber and Davis counties, including I-15, Legacy Parkway, and the West Side Belt. Eric.
Well, out in Tooele, we've got a crash northbound on Main Street. Of course, that turns into SR 36, but the crash is right in the middle of town. Looks like maybe a couple of components to this crash, maybe about a block away from each other. At any rate, get out of the right lane because for sure that's where they're going to block you off. Now, if you head out of Tooele City, no problems going all the way up to I-80 and down Utah County. I-15 continues to look good northbound and southbound. This is The Place, Heritage Park, your place for family fun and July celebrations with flag ceremony, live music, Pioneer Day concert, activities, and more. Visit thisistheplace.org. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
We'll bring it up a couple of degrees from yesterday. How about a high this afternoon of 94 with sunny skies? Overnight, not bad, 68, clear skies. Tomorrow, 100 degrees, sunny skies. We jump to 103 sunny skies on Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Beautiful day out there so far, 67 degrees.
It is a critical week for the Biden campaign. People are waiting for a decision that may have already been made. You know, he said it would take, what did he say? Something about it'd take something from heaven to make him leave the race?
He did say, nothing more than, or it would
nothing
take.
short of God Almighty or
Short
something.
of God Almighty, yeah.
We'll talk to Steve Roberts about it next on KSL News Radio.
And remember, you'll always find us streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio, Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Have some exciting news to announce.
Master Electrical Service has joined Mountain Home Services.
And I can speak from experience, Deb. Mountain Home Services installed my furnace years ago, and it's been amazing.
And we know Master Electrical Service has been your trusted source for all your electrical needs, like your EV chargers, your generators, and recessed lighting.
But now that they've joined Mountain Home Services, they can help you with your HVAC, your heating and air, as well as your plumbing.
And it comes with that upfront pricing guarantee. I love the upfront pricing guarantee because it means no hidden fees.
100% satisfaction guarantee as well.
Master Electrical Service has been the name you trust since 1954.
They're the company we trust, and so can you.
Check them out now at mountainhomeutah.com.
That's mountainhomeutah.com, or give them a call at 801-543-2222. So easy to remember, 801-543-2222.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics, or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family, plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Discover the best of senior living at Trio Orem and Trio South Ogden. Today's older adults aren't wrapping up their life's journey, they're seeking a new one. And Trio Independent Living is here to help them do just that. With a smart, modern, and connected lifestyle, residents cultivate relationships and maximize independence through signature programs like Prime Fit Wellness that bring living well and well-being to life. Welcome to the new age of senior living. Schedule your visit at leisurecare.com/Utah today.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
KSL News Time, 6:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
multiple homes in Price are at a complete loss now after a fire was sparked from a faulty grill. I'm KSL News Radio's Michael Commute.
Second, 2 lakes in the high Uintas are being poisoned to kill off non-native fish, and then they'll be restocked with native Colorado cutthroats.
Third, it's traffic and weather together.
Still clear on I-15, whether you're starting out in Ogden, whether you're going from Provo through Utah County towards the Salt Lake Valley. It's all good. I-80 a little bit busy, though, westbound near Parley Summit at the moment. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's our last day in the 90s, then it's triple digits. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 67 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
There was a wind gust of 92 miles an hour recorded about 6 o'clock this morning in Freeport, Texas. Let's get the latest on that Hurricane Beryl from ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Hundreds of thousands of customers along the Texas Gulf Coast are without lights and air conditioning this morning, courtesy of Hurricane Beryl, the storm coming ashore at a Category 1 near Matagorda Bay. This is Public Information Officer Mitch Thames.
The winds are really, really strong right now. We're in the eye right now. We understand we're ready. We're bracing for the back half of that hurricane.
In Houston, ABC's Victor Okendo.
It is going to be a long morning along the Texas Gulf Coast and into Houston, which we know floods easily, residents being urged to stay indoors and off the streets until at least noon today.
It was a scorcher in the west all weekend. A motorcyclist died of heat stroke while visiting Death Valley, where the temperature was 128 degrees. Las Vegas got up to 120, the heat fueling California wildfires, one burning south of Yosemite, another big one near Santa Barbara.
And, of course, we're going to be 105 by Wednesday this week. President Joe Biden faces a critical week as he struggles to convince fellow Democrats that he can win the election in November and govern the country for another 4 years.
Since the CNN debate, he's been facing a lot of questions. Joining us now live to talk about it is ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts. What does your crystal ball say about this, Steve?
Well, my crystal ball says that two things. One is that Biden is still very dug in. He's a very proud, he's a very stubborn man. He's tried his entire political life to be president. He's not going to be moved out easily. And, of course, in the course of the week, he kept saying, without any doubts or any bending or any, I'm in it for good. But it's clear that the uneasiness and even an anxiety and fear Democratic ranks is growing steadily. There's a growing feeling he can't win. There's a growing feeling that other members of Congress will be dragged down with him in marginal districts, and therefore Republicans would control not just the White House, but both parts of Congress. But there's also a growing feeling that even if he wins, is he capable of governing for 4 years? And there's a final point that's very important. There's a growing feeling among a lot of Democrats that they've been deceived by their own White House, a growing feeling of resentment of the president, of his staff, of his family, a feeling that, look, you must have known of his decline. You must have known that that man we saw in the debate was out there, and you hid it from us. And you hid it from us while saying how important the election was. And so in addition to all of the political calculations, I think there's a growing personal feeling that the Republicans had a point when they argued that Biden was being shielded and protected from the public and from his own party. And the public had a right to know what his real condition was, and the White House kept it a secret.
It almost feels, Steve, like anger at this point from his own party, because every day that ticks by makes it tougher and tougher for the party to actually move on.
That's right. Now, look, there's an enormous amount of loyalty to Joe Biden. He's been a fixture in the Democratic Party for 50 years. And he can legitimately say, I was the man who beat Donald Trump. I was the man who deprived him of a second term. And I've been a good president. And all of those things are true. But just because he had a successful 4 years does not justify, in the minds of a growing number of Democrats, they say, we got to talk about the future, not the past. Yeah, you were a good president, but can you win again? And can you govern if you win? Now, part of what the concern is that it would be so disruptive to shift horses now, and that's what Biden is counting on. But there's a growing feeling that Kamala Harris, while not the ideal candidate, could do pretty well. There's a CNN poll out this morning which shows Harris running about 4 points better than Biden. When people start looking at that poll, they start saying Biden's a disaster and Harris couldn't be worse. and that perhaps she would provide a jolt of energy and enthusiasm. It's not. This election is all about turnout, and so there's been a growing feeling. The polls have showed it that blacks and young people increasingly disillusioned with Biden, and at least there's a possibility. It's a gamble, but there's a possibility that Harris could turn around some of that disillusionment. But either way, bad choices for the Democrats.
Fascinating discussion, and we'll keep following it with your help, Stephen. Thank you. ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts with us. Let's get another look at traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. And we go back over to you, Andy.
Amanda, still freeway speeds throughout the Salt Lake Valley if you're on any of the freeways, I-15 or 215 on either side of the valley. Even Foothill off to a good start this morning. As far up as Sunnyside, it gets a little bit busy. It looks like at the turn to Mario Capecchi is all. Heather?
Seeing a few heavier pockets of traffic southbound I-15, mostly between Clearfield and Farmington. Still not enough traffic, though, to slow anybody down on the freeways, including US 89 and I-84. We do have more congestion, though, on city streets, including Harrison Boulevard in Ogden and SR 193 in Clearfield at the Industrial Park area. Eric?
In Tooele County and Tooele City itself, we've got a northbound crash still being tended to. Looks like they're gradually starting to get this out of the way. A couple blocks apart, there were little incidents involving the vehicles, and looks like the one that was occupying the most lanes, two of them, that's been moved off to the right. Still one lane blocked at around 500 north if you're heading out of Tooele this morning. I-15 in Utah County, that's in good shape. You got lane restrictions on I-80 westbound out of Partley's Canyon as you approach Foothill Drive. For a top-quality kitchen or bath with top-quality craftsmanship, call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. They're always on time with no delays and meet all deadlines. Visit 3daykitchen.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. We've got some absolutely scorching hot temperatures on tap. Today's not bad, though. Sunny skies, 94. Enjoy it because it's going away. Tomorrow, 100 degrees, sunny skies. Wednesday, 103, heat dome building. Thursday, we got 105. We lock it in at 105 again on Friday and Saturday. The only difference is we'll see some partly cloudy skies by Saturday afternoon. Sunday, 101, partly cloudy. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
66 degrees now in downtown Salt Lake City. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
So when you wake up, what's the first thing you look at? Do you look at social media? You pick up your phone, turn off the alarm. Social media? Email? News?
I check to see if I have any emails that are of importance for the day first.
Me
I think.
too.
Yeah,
I do that too. And if you're like us and you'd like to get an email to your inbox that will let you know the top 3 stories that KSL is working on, because we're always sending out a once-a-day email that lets you know these are the top 3 stories we're working on. Because you can't count on your social media feed to include those stories.
Right.
You might see them, you might not. So you can get that email, the 3 things you need to know email, just by sending the word inbox, all by itself, one word, INBOX, to our text line 57500.
There are some staggering numbers out this morning about what the COVID pandemic actually cost the country. We're going to share those numbers with you next when we check Money News here on KSL.
Introducing Peach Doors and Windows. Are you ready to upgrade your home with stunning new doors but are overwhelmed with how to begin? Peach Doors is here to make the entire process smooth and stress-free. Visit their showroom to see their wide selection of wood doors, durable fiberglass, energy-efficient aluminum, oversized glass bifold doors, and so much more. It's not just about looks, it's about durability and security to protect what matters most. Let them help you find the perfect match for your home, budget, and personal style. Visit their showroom and see for yourself. No pushy sales tactics, only guidance from their experienced staff. No inflated markups just to offer so-called discounts. See their 5-star reviews where customers rate them on their attention to detail through every step of the sale and installation process. Amazing home transformations begin with windows and doors. Serving Logan to St. George, just Google Peach Building to see for yourself.
Hey Utah! When it comes to guiding the growth of our state, you buzzed in with your comments, and we listened to what you had to say. Your feedback on the future of Utah's housing, water, transportation, and open space will continue to help our leaders make important policy decisions, preserving and improving our high quality of life in meaningful ways for years to come. So, Thanks for speaking up. Learn more about our state's future at guidingourgrowth.utah.gov.
After 20 years of music in the mountains, concertgoers from all across our state and beyond have made some amazing memories at Utah Symphony's Deer Valley Music Festival, and we're inviting you to join us again this summer. Don't miss crowd favorites, patriotic pops, Disney in concert, Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, and the music of John Williams. Pack your picnics, bring your family and friends, and get ready for memorable summer evenings with the Utah Symphony, July 5th through August 9th in Park City. Tickets are on sale now at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org. The Utah Symphony's Deer Valley Music Festival showcases talented vocalists performing your favorite chart-topping songs with the full power of the symphony. You'll wish your recordings at home offered the same orchestration. Don't miss the music of Whitney Houston, the trailblazing music of Joni Mitchell, Carole King, and Carly Simon, Hamilton's Leslie Odom Jr., and Cody Fry, all with the Utah Symphony. July 5th through August 9th in Park City. Tickets are on sale now at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. A new report shows the COVID pandemic caused more than $18 trillion in economic losses to the U.S. The large figure includes the costs of excess of deaths, of lost income, of medical treatment for things like long COVID, mental health costs, and educational losses. The report from the Heritage Foundation's nonpartisan commission on China also placed blame for the outbreak on the Chinese government.
Teachers in Baltimore trying to get so-called baby bonus passed through. It's a program that would give $1,000 to new parents to reduce childhood poverty that starts at birth. Supporters have now secured the necessary signatures, so voters will have a chance to decide on that program come November.
Let's get a look at your money at this moment. And the markets are pretty flat this morning. Dow futures up 42. That's 0.1%. S&P futures up 2.7, just a fraction. The Nasdaq futures up 13, also a fraction.
We have a crash now in Tooele that's just being cleared. Looks like it's the only problem we have this morning so far on this Monday morning commute. Traffic and weather together is coming up next.
We just had Zero Res come into our house to do some cleaning last week. July is carpet cleaning month. I'm just saying.
There's a good way to celebrate.
There's a good way to celebrate. And I got this deal. It's 3 rooms, Zero Resified, for just $99.
We, as you know, went on a cruise last week with a couple of our grandkids and some other family members. We had 6 dogs at our house.
Oh, wow.
For 5 days. 6 dogs for 5 days. You can imagine what a mess that was. So we're going to need the help of Zero Res on the back end of this. But, you know, they've come into our home before and done such great work, not just on the carpet, by the way, but also on the tile.
Yeah.
Restoring the color, the original color of the grout is an amazing process.
Oh, they do carpets, they do tile, they do rugs, they do upholstery, they do any surface in your home can be Zero Resified.
And as a matter of fact, you'll not only get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $99, but they're going to take 20% off their air duct cleaning service as well. So jot down this number and give them a call, 801-288-9376. That's 801-288-ZERO.
And just ask for the station special or go to ZeroRes.com.
Just 2 weeks left before the historic announcement.
Tim is going to Paris. He'll be live for us on KSL all that week.
Get special coverage on the final preparations and decision for Salt Lake City 2034. Listen at 7:30, 8:30, and 10:30 in the morning this week on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Andy Farnsworth is back in the traffic center.
And right now it's a clean drive through Salt Lake County on I-15. 201 starting to get a bit heavy around the Magna stretch between 84 and 7200 west. Mountain View, after some delays through West Valley, popped up earlier. Right now, it's a pretty clean drive. You shouldn't have to wait much at all. Bangor all clear from South Jordan all the way to the airport. Heather?
We don't have any accidents reported right now in Weber, Davis County. That includes city streets and the major freeways. So overall, you're going to have a pretty good commute. You have good speeds on I-84 through the mountains, eastbound and westbound to and from Morgan, as well as southbound I-15 from Ogden to Salt Lake. Eric?
Well, they've just cleared up that crash northbound on Main Street in Tooele. Around 500 north is where part of it was. The other was a block or two away, but everything's clear now. So northbound, both lanes are open going out of Tooele City, heading up towards Stansbury and I-80. I-15 in Utah County, northbound, southbound. That's a good pace, 20 minutes from University Avenue in Provo up to the county line. Get your lawn off to a good start with Revive Organic Soil Treatment. Greener grass using less water. Spread or spray. Revive Organic Soil Treatment, available at your favorite garden center or revive.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
And the weather forecast today is the only day beneath 100 degrees for the whole rest of the 7-day forecast. Today's high will be 94. Then we're 100 tomorrow, 105 on Thursday, and it'll stay there through the weekend. Right now, downtown 67 degrees.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News with Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio.
102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning, KSL News Time, 6:30.
KSL's top story this hour.
It's a busy time for Salt Lake City and Utah's Committee for the Games as they prepare to head to Paris for a final pitch on why we should host the 2034 Olympics.
KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson reports.
Hopeful but humble. That's how President and CEO of the committee, Fraser Bullock, and his team feel as they prep for Paris. Over the next 2 weeks, they'll be polishing up their presentation and finishing up contractual discussions with the International Olympic Committee. Then on July 24th, Pioneer Day, they'll get up on stage and give their final pitch before the IOC. Then the IOC will vote, and around 3 a.m. Utah time, we will know if Utah will be officially awarded the 2034 Winter Games.
Tomorrow, Salt Lake City's Committee for the Games will preview the presentation so Utahns will know what to expect on the big day.
Another Utah native will head to Paris this summer for the Olympics. Whitney Orton Morgan is a distance runner and BYU alum. She grew up in Panguitch. The small city has a population of just under 2,000 people. She's one of the 8 runners from the state that are headed to the Games.
Starting tomorrow, we could see 100 degrees and up for 6 straight days. KSL News Radio's Adam Small is live with details. Adam?
Amanda, we're looking at a high in the 90s today in Salt Lake City, but this is what follows. Tomorrow, 100. Wednesday, 103. Then Thursday through Saturday, we're looking at a high of 105. KSL meteorologist Matt Johnson says those days we have a chance to actually break a record.
Now, the all-time record high for Salt Lake City is 107. Yes, it is not off the table.
Triple digits are back in the forecast again Sunday. Today, though, St. George begins a 5-day stretch where they could hit 110 and up. Thursday, their projected high is 115 degrees. Live, Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Doctors say they're seeing a small increase in burn patients. KSL News Radio's Candy Zalale has the story.
If you're burned, Dr. Giovanni Lewis has some tips on how to handle that.
We recommend that you cool the area with cool water. After that, we want to dry it and then put a dry dressing on and then seek medical assistance. And that could be your local urgent care.
Parents and guardians should check playground equipment before children play on it. If you're doing fireworks, be sure to follow your city's guidelines and safety tips. And make sure to keep your barbecue grills clean and away from homes, children, and pets. Candy Zilale, KSL News Radio.
Pet owners near the avenues are on edge after multiple reports of pet deaths and coyote sightings. KSL News Radio's Beryl Johansson is live with details. Beryl?
Amanda, Salt Lake County Animal Services is advising pet owners to keep their pets inside or on a leash when outside. This comes after multiple reports of pet deaths and coyote sightings. Officials believe those pet deaths are from wildlife attacks, warning that other animals can be dangerous to pet as well, such as bears, cougars, bobcats, even raccoons. Salt Lake County Animal Services urges pet owners to stay alert and take all necessary precautions to protect their pets. Reporting live, Beryl Johansson, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories this hour. Hurricane Beryl is slamming the Texas coast with flooding rains and damaging winds. Let's get the latest from ABC's Andrew Dimber.
Surfers in Galveston kicked off the beach. The conditions too dangerous.
This is what we came for. This is what we do This is what we do. Like, we love to surf. We love to get out there on the waves, get reckless, get crazy.
Officials saying they're concerned more people did not evacuate the coast.
Yeah, you might like those waves, but the 80-mile-an-hour winds would cause you a few problems on that board. That's what those winds reached per hour in that area.
Las Vegas hit record-breaking heat this weekend. The city hit 120 degrees. A visiting newlywed couple is trying to get by.
We drank more water than I think we've ever drank before.
Plenty of water. It's the best way to do it. Plenty of sunscreen as well.
The excessive heat is expected to last through the week.
Yeah, crazy thing is you walk out of those casinos at midnight and it's still 105. I mean, that'll shock you with no sunshine. Let's get a look at First Look traffic here. How we doing, Andy?
Well, they cleared up the crash in Tooele on Main Street, so everything's back to normal there. Till you get to I-80 in Lake Point, and it's a little bit slow both on SR-36 and on the merge where it hits onto I-80 itself. Don't see any I-15 delays so far, and looks like they finally pulled Beryls from I-80 and Parley's Canyon. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
A county commissioner in southern Utah is refusing to certify the results of the primary election because of late mail-in ballots. KSL News Radio's Michael Commute is live with more. Michael?
Amanda, according to Commissioner Paul Cozens in Iron County, more than 700 votes throughout southern Utah were supposedly mailed after the June 24th deadline. However, what he and other county leaders suspect is southern Utahns did mail in their ballots on time, but the postal route slowed down the process. Mail is taken to Las Vegas instead of somewhere in Utah, meaning these ballots could have been postmarked after the deadline in Nevada. This postal route is really earning the ire of county leaders. On social media, Commissioner Cozen says he can't in good conscience vote to certify the election, while hundreds of Utahns won't have their vote counted. Reporting live, Michael Commit, KSL News Radio.
The race for the 2nd Congressional District still too close to call a week and a half later. As of Friday, there are just over 300 votes separating Representative Celeste Malloy and Colby Jenkins. She is pulling ahead, and Jenkins is hoping for a recount, challenging Washington County officials.
Nearly a decade ago, a husband and wife rallied to raise funds for a friend battling cancer. Today, their foundation supports over 75 Utah residents in their own fights against the disease, uniting the tattoo community for a powerful cause.
Inc. Against Cancer President Hildegard Koenig and her vice president husband Jay were inspired to found their nonprofit by a friend's request to extend their help to others facing cancer.
And our foundation is different from others because it doesn't matter the type of cancer and the age.
Their efforts include organizing multiple fundraising events annually to support what they term as cancer warriors, culminating in their largest event at the fairgrounds this weekend. More than 30 artists will participate, pledging 50% or more of their proceeds to the cause. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Looks like the pace is a good one on I-15, the 201 highway, and the 215 belt in Salt Lake County right now. Let's hope it stays that way. Traffic and weather together in 2 minutes.
KSL in the palm of your hand.
When the app came out, I knew that I could stream the radio station directly through there.
I just checked there to see if there's anything pertinent. I regularly use the KSL app.
Get the app for KSL News Radio.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and if you have a drain that's clogged or backed up, after you've tried the plungers and products, the next step usually involves some kind of drain snake or cabling equipment. You see, sometimes the blockage is far enough down the line that you need special equipment that most homeowners just don't have. That's where the Drains Department at Any Hour Services can help. A drain snake can clear most blockages and get the water flowing again, and clearing blocked drains is what our Drains Department does day in and day out. So if you're a homeowner with a drain line that's clogged or backed up and you'd like one of our drain technicians to come and snake the line for you, it's only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Summer is the season of sun, fun, and freedom.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no better way to take advantage of every minute and every mile than with a low-rate auto loan from America First Credit Union. Plus, for a limited time, when you finance your new vehicle with America First, you can let your wallet enjoy some time off, too, with no payments for 90 days. So make your summer move. Head to AmericaFirst.com to apply for pre-approval of your low-rate auto loan today. Eligibility, terms, conditions, and creditworthiness apply. Subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Seriously, this is what my money is doing. Playing games? Right now, Nicole's money is remodeling her kitchen.
I don't know how to do that.
Nicole said it's easy. She just called America First Credit Union and got a fantastic rate on a home equity loan.
No!
I'm calling America First.
Get your money working. Visit AmericaFirst.com and get a 0.25% discount on our low-rate home equity loans. Subject to eligibility, terms, conditions, and property criteria. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Did you say they're issuing a heat warning, some kind of excessive heat warning?
It's called, exactly that. Excessive heat watch will be in effect Wednesday morning through Friday evening. It's those 105-degree days.
Yeah, and we've got a string of triple-digit days starting tomorrow. We'll take a closer look here in just a minute.
6:39 now. Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Andy?
Amanda, looks clean on I-15, still in both directions from Draper to downtown, but some other city streets are starting to get backed up a little, including Mountain View at 41 and 3500 South on the northbound side, seeing a little bit of slowing on 106th as you head away from I-15 towards South Jordan, and it's pretty busy along 700 East right now, coming south down from 5600 South Murray down towards 215. Heather?
No delays right now getting into any of the gates of Hill Air Force Base, so that's a nice commute for many. You'll also have a good drive if you're sticking with I-15, especially southbound from Ogden to Salt Lake. Still under 30 minutes, even though traffic is starting to fill in just a bit in the Davis County area around Clearfield and Layton. And no problems getting to the airport if you use Legacy Parkway in the West Side Belt. Eric?
Well, you got road work going on I-80 if you're westbound heading out of Parley's Canyon as you go by the quarry towards the mouth of the canyon. Only one right lane available while they pick the barrels up. I-15 in Utah County is looking good from Provo to Lehigh and the major city streets over to the freeway, also in great shape. The Two Brother Mattress Serta mattress sale is happening now. Get a queen Serta mattress for only $379. That's a Serta for $379. Visit one of their 5 stores or twobrothersmattress.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, we've got sunny skies today with a high of 94 degrees. Overnight, clear skies, 68 the low. Tomorrow, 100 degrees and sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, sunny skies about to get even sunnier as that sun comes up. 66 this hour.
I think that interview, that exclusive interview that President Biden did with George Stephanopoulos was intended to allay some people's fears.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it had that impact. Might have had the reverse impact. We'll share a portion of that interview with you in case you missed it on ABC. That's coming up just ahead.
Right now, though, it's time for Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, and it's brought to you by the law offices of Jordan Wilcox.
I'm not dead. I haven't suffered any gastric catastrophe, even though at my house, we don't refrigerate the butter. You probably wrestle with a piece of toast, trying to smear a cold hard slab onto a bristly piece of unsuspecting bread that ends up looking like it's been in a car crash. But at my house, the room temperature butter lays down and spreads out like it's taking a nap in a hammock. And for this, we can thank Sarah Mertzel. She's a 49-year-old small business owner from California who forgot to put the butter in the fridge one fateful night 14 years ago and had an epiphany in the morning when she easily, breezily wiped the butter onto her toast. Since then, the marvelous Mrs. Mertzel developed a line of butter containers with flip-top lids. She's written a children's book called Change Your Life for the Butter. And Sarah Mertzel has petitioned the government to admit that butter doesn't need a refrigerator. The Wall Street Journal reports federal agencies are an alphabet soup of contradictions about the modified milk product. The FDA says butter should be left out 6 hours max. It's the same FDA that admitted 20 years ago that butter has a long history of safety without any temperature control. Meantime, the USDA says it's okay to leave butter out for 2 days. The marvelous Mrs. Mertzel sent butter to a lab for testing and at room temperature up to 77 degrees. No signs of spoiling after 3 weeks. So wrestle with your morning toast if you must. At my house, any given Sunday with our pancakes, we'll be taking the path of least resistance. So easy.
Easy like Sunday morning. Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Brought to you by the law offices of Jordan Wilcox. IRS harassing you? The law offices of Jordan Wilcox can help. Visit taxhelput.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, keep in mind, it's not just you.
My name is Phil, and I got myself into a little bit of tax trouble by not filing taxes. I got a notice from the IRS for not filing, and another notice, and added up to like $100,000 that I owed them. As I'm sitting there at work and in shock and tearing up, what am I going to do? Because that's a lot of money.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
Jordan actually was close to my office in Layton, and they got the IRS to settle for $10,500.
You need someone to fight for you.
From $100,000 to $10,500 was just incredible.
Visit taxhelput.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit taxhelput.com.
Saved me from being homeless, I would imagine, and just made my world a better place.
That's taxhelput.com.
Attention business and property managers. GoPave Utah delivers star-spangled striping, paving, repair, and maintenance across the Wasatch Front. Let freedom ring for your customers with GoPave Utah. Contact gopavutah.com.
KSL News Time, 6:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
there have been several recent coyote sightings and multiple pets found dead in the avenues. Officials are now warning people to keep their animals on a leash. I'm KSL News Radio's Beryl Johansson.
Second, starting tomorrow, we could see 100 degrees and up for 6 straight days at Salt Lake City, including 3 days later this week. We could hit 105.
Third, it's traffic and weather together.
Speeds on I-15 still good if you're starting out in Davis County heading towards Salt Lake or Weber County. It's going to be city streets. We've got some delays on the west side of Salt Lake, especially Mountain View. And then in I-80 in Tooele County, merging on at Lake Point, a little bit slow as well. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's high of 94 is the calm before the heat dome. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 66 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
Hurricane Beryl barreled its way onto the shores of Texas this morning. Let's get the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Nearly 400,000 customers are still without power this morning along the Texas Gulf Shore. Hurricane Beryl, a Category 1 storm, came ashore early this morning. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Galveston.
In Sargent Beach, storm surge moving in.
Oh, wow.
Overtaking the area. High winds and waves hammering vehicles. In Freeport, Texas, numerous power flashes as winds began taking out power lines.
Heavy rain and strong winds lashing the Houston area and now moving inland. President Biden hoping to shift the focus in Washington this week from his future to his present. He is hoping the NATO summit in Washington starting tomorrow. Congress also back in session. Democratic lawmakers expected to discuss concerns about President Biden in person. Chaotic election results in France. The far-right party did not win a majority in parliament. The far-left party did not either, nor did President Emmanuel Macron's centrist party. This is ABC News.
President Joe Biden's exclusive interview with ABC News was supposed to calm nerves.
But instead, more Democrats are calling for his exit.
President Biden, defiant as ever, adamant he can survive this crisis. But a growing number in his own party aren't so certain. Sources tell ABC News that privately, at least 4 top House Democrats told colleagues on a call Sunday it's time for Biden to end his campaign. Congressman Jerry Nadler, Mark Takano, Joe Morell, and Adam Smith, joining 5 other Democrats who've made the same plea publicly. But sources say Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who convened Sunday's call, did not take a stance. With lawmakers back on the Hill this week, the coming days will be critical.
Hello.
The president trying to restore confidence, hitting the trail hard this weekend, eager to show voters he has what it takes to beat Donald Trump.
We're on the cusp of getting so much done. I really mean it.
Barnstorming battleground Pennsylvania, the president shaking hands and snapping selfies, rallying his supporters and leaning on allies to beat back concerns from fellow Democrats.
I am about to point to the only person that's ever kicked Trump's in an election right now.
Don't let anybody talk about your age. You a young whippersnapper.
But even the president's allies are blunt that his interview with George did not put concerns to rest.
What I do think the president needs to decide is, can he put those concerns aside? Can he demonstrate to the American people that what happened on the debate stage was an aberration, that he can and will beat Donald Trump?
In his first sit-down after that disastrous debate performance, the president saying that so far, Democratic leaders have urged him to stay in the race.
And if Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi come down and say, we're worried that if you stay in the race, we're going to lose the House and the Senate, how will you respond?
I go into detail with them. I've spoken to all of them in detail, including Jim Clyburn. Every one of them. They all said I should stay in the race. Stay in the race. None of the people said I should leave.
But if they do?
Well, it's like, they're not going to do that.
You sure?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Look, I mean, if the Lord Almighty came out and said, Joe, get out of the race, I'd get out of the race.
Biden insisting only divine intervention could force him out.
If you can be convinced that you cannot defeat Donald Trump, will you stand down?
It depends if the Lord Almighty comes out and tells me that, I might do that.
But at the center of his campaign is the argument that Trump poses an existential threat to American democracy. Biden pressed on what happens if he fails to stop him.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
That's ABC News White House correspondent Mary Bruce reporting. These will be interesting weeks, these couple of weeks ahead.
Yeah, and the challenge is that he has to be more visible and out there in front of more cameras in an impromptu situation. So it actually increases the chance that there will be some missteps. It doesn't decrease it. And there was a moment in that interview where Stephanopoulos asked him, did you watch the debate after the debate? And he paused for a minute and he said, I don't believe so.
Oh, wow.
You'd think you'd know the answer to that question. So we're going to be watching it. Of course, Congress back in session this week. So all of that in Washington, I'm sure, is going to be interesting this week. 6:49, time for us to get a look at traffic and weather together here. Brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Andy Farnsworth is back in the traffic center.
And we're seeing a little bit more slowing now, 21st South Freeway in that stretch between Mountain View and 215. It's not stop and go, but it is going to be under the speed limit. You do come to a stop on Mountain View, though, at 3500 South. And our first little bit of slowing creeping in on I-15 right after the 90th South on-ramp in Sandy. Heather?
We are looking good through Weber and Davis counties. No accidents reported on city streets or major freeways. Traffic is filling in a little bit on southbound I-15. Your heaviest traffic flow is as you head south between Clearfield and Farmington, and a little bit as you get closer to downtown Salt Lake. But so far, no big delays. You even have a good drive if you're trying to get into Hill Air Force Base. Eric?
From Provo and Orem up to Lehigh, everything looks good on I-15 northbound Utah County. Getting over to the freeway, starting to get some stoplight, let's put it that way, stoplight delays as you head through Eagle Mountain at some of the intersections heading over towards whether you would take Pioneer Crossing or Lehigh's Main Street or 2100 North. Everything is starting to fill in, but right now things are looking pretty delay-free. Call 801-288-9376 and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $99 plus 20% off air duct cleaning with Zero Res. ZeroRes.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. We've got a 6-day stretch of 100 degrees. We start with our last day in the 90s today at 94. Tomorrow, 100. Into Wednesday, sunny, 103. Thursday, 105. Friday, 105, mostly sunny skies. Partly cloudy, 105 for a third straight day. On Saturday, Sunday dialing it back to 101, partly cloudy skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
It's a beautiful morning, sunny and 66 degrees, and the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
KSL News Time, 6:52.
Do you have a help desk? If you're a smaller company, you probably don't have your own help desk, but you do now. Les Olson IT can be your help desk. So if you have a tech issue of any kind, maybe you want somebody to come and take a look at your data and say, you know, your data needs more backup, or here's how to get more storage, or here are a few steps you could use to help you be more cyber secure. These are the kinds of things that Les Olson IT can do for your business, no matter what the size.
I couldn't help but think back when Les Olson started in business, almost 7 decades ago. There wasn't such a thing as a help desk.
Yeah, right.
Who knew what IT was? All you needed was a good printer and a good copier, and you were off and, to the races as far as business goes. Things have changed through the years, and this company has also evolved to make sure that you have everything you need, right down to the installation of servers, running the cable, the Cat5 cable from the street to the servers itself. They can help you get your business ahead in the future.
So why not give them a call? Why not chat with somebody and because you don't know what you don't know, and maybe they can help you save money.
And by the way, they can still get you that printer and copier. Get to know Les Olson IT. They've got 9 locations now, from Logan to Las Vegas.
Go to lesolson.com.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Time again to check your money news this morning. Brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is working on improving a trade deal with the European Union. Starmer is touring around Scotland, Ireland, and Wales because he says he can get a better deal than the one former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, quote, botched. The discussions are about strengthening trade, research, and defense ties with the EU.
Well, it's official. Entertainment giant Paramount is agreeing to a merger with Skydance. Skydance has helped Paramount, produce some major films over the last few years, including Top Gun Maverick and a few installments of the Mission Impossible series. The new combined company is valued around $28 billion. Skydance's founder will be the CEO of what they're now calling New Paramount.
Animated movies are helping to bring people back to the box office here. Despicable Me 4 was this weekend's winner. The sequel for the popular kid series brought in $75 million in ticket sales over the holiday weekend and more than $122 million since its opening on Wednesday. Another animated favorite came in second, Inside Out 2. Made $30 million this weekend, and they were saying this morning worldwide it's made now, what did they say, over $500 million?
Wow.
$500 million. And A Quiet Place Day 1 dropped to third with $21 million.
Let's get a look at your money at this moment. The Dow futures are up 68. That's about 0.2%. S&P futures up just 4. The NASDAQ futures up 12. That's not even 0.1%.
We're starting to see slowdowns now on the 201 highway eastbound from 5600 west over the 215 west belt. We'll check that spot next.
Hey there, it's Julie from Logan, where we know how to celebrate summer. First, something super cool when it's really hot. Logan has a brand new plaza downtown with music and games and a splash pad for kids. I mean, I said kids, but hey, we don't judge. Jump in. Keep it cool by stepping inside one of 3 historic theaters for more than 250 professional live performances in 5 weeks. Wow, nobody does that. But we do, because we're Utah's heart of the arts. Chill on Center Street before or after the show and sink your teeth into sourdough pizza, a brew and a burger, hand-dipped chocolates, or other delicious goodies from fun cafes. Don't forget, your hotel is only 10 minutes from the National Forest for hiking and biking. Take gorgeous photos of the stunning scenery and enjoy cooler temperatures in the canyon. Step back in time at the American West Heritage Center. You can hang out with a mountain man, have a pony ride, meet pioneers, and check out the farm. We've got a lot going on. Check us out at ExploreLogan.com. Inside or out, we're always a few degrees cooler. ExploreLogan.com. ExploreLogan.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Feeling the heat at home in places your air conditioning can't reach? You might be overlooking a common culprit, your attic ventilation. Poor attic ventilation can spike your energy bills and shorten your roof's lifespan. Don't sweat it out this summer. Master Roofing is here to help. This July, Master Roofing is offering a free attic ventilation inspection and 20% off all attic ventilation services. Certified inspectors are ready to optimize your home's comfort and efficiency. Call 801-383-0072 or visit masterroofingutah.com to schedule your free inspection today.
6:59, traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. And back over to you, Andy.
We're hearing about a crash potentially on the eastbound 201 at 3200 West. There was some slowing that was pretty consistent between Mountain View and Bangerter Highway, but it looks like that's improving, at least on the near Bangor portion, but Mountain View still got some slowdowns. And on Mountain View at 3500 South and on Bangor at 3500 South this morning. Heather?
No such slowdowns up north in Weber and Davis County. You've got a good drive on the freeways, I-15, US 89, Legacy Parkway. Traffic definitely filling in, though, on a lot of the city streets. SR 193 in Clearfield is the busiest, and that is going to be heading east away from the Industrial Park area over toward I-15. Eric?
Got an eastbound crash on I-80 into the mountains. This is in Lambs Canyon as you head up to the top of Parley Summit. It's over on the right-hand side. Doesn't look like it's blocking any lanes. So right now, not seeing any slowdowns as a result. I-15 in Utah County looks good. Northbound SR 36 in Tooele County, that's also in good shape. Hey, Utah County, Jones Pane Glass is opening a new location in Payson. Be sure to come to their grand opening celebration on July 27th from 8 to 5. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
94 today, the only day we won't be in triple digits for the next week. And right now, sunny and 66 downtown this hour.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, we're counting down 16 days until the historic announcement, Salt Lake City 2034.
It's 7 o'clock on Utah's Morning News. Good morning. I'm Tim Hughes.
And I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story on the 7 o'clock report.
We had a couple of new wildfires break out over the weekend. One of them now the largest active fire in the state, and it's spreading quickly.
KSL News Radio's Adam Small begins our live team coverage, Utah Fire Watch. Adam?
Amanda, the Silver King fire burning on the Beaver-Paiute County line has already burned more than 10,800 acres, but that's more than 10 times its size that it was just Saturday morning. The fire's already forced some Marysville homeowners high up a local canyon to evacuate. KSL TV actually spoke with some locals who are trying to protect their homes, including Jonathan Edwards, who's a local pastor.
Everything we have is given to us by the Lord, and we're just stewards of it for a time, and it's all in His hands.
According to FEMA, almost 300 homes are at risk. The lightning-caused fire is still 0% contained. Live Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
We're keeping a close eye on some of the other fires across the state. The Deer Springs fire is about 15 miles south of Bryce Canyon National Park. It's now over 9,100 acres, and it, too, is 0% contained. Fire officials believe that one was human-caused. And the Little Twist fire is still burning, now 40% contained after burning more than 5,000 acres.
Multiple homes in Price are destroyed after a fire broke out, and investigators think it was a faulty grill that caused it.
KSL News Radio's Michael Commute continues our team coverage. Michael?
Tim, Price's fire department and other agencies got to the scene yesterday afternoon, and ultimately 4 different homes were affected by the blaze. Fortunately, Fire Chief David Johnson says everyone who lived in those houses was safely evacuated.
3 families was displaced. We have contacted the Red Cross, and the Red Cross is reaching out to them.
Now, one person was sent to the hospital after this incident. An investigation from the Utah State Fire Marshal's office concluded this whole thing did indeed spark from an old, damaged grill that couldn't contain its own embers. Reporting live, Michael Commit, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories now. Philadelphia radio station WURD and the Biden campaign are under fire for allegedly using pre-selected questions in an interview after the debate. ABC's M. Wynn has more from Washington.
Recent polls suggest Harris could perform better than Biden against Trump. One poll showing that independents and moderate voters of both parties prefer Harris over Trump.
What progress has been made here in Pennsylvania?
Well, there's been a lot of progress. We've got a lot more to do, though.
Meanwhile, a Philadelphia radio station now says it's parted ways with its host, who acknowledged interviewing President Biden last week using questions pre-selected by Biden's campaign team. The campaign did not deny providing the questions, saying, "We do not condition interviews on acceptance of these questions."
This comes as more Democrats are raising concerns over President Biden's competency.
Listen to this. A grocery store in Alabama is removing controversial vending machines that have ammunition inside of them.
A manager at the Tuscaloosa store that removed the machine says it was not because of the city council meeting, but because of a lack of sales. The city has since verified that the vending machines are legal. And while many are enthusiastic about the kiosks, critics are taking aim online. One writing, "Deeply dystopian." Another quipping, "What could go wrong?"
American Rounds says the novel way of selling ammo for shotguns, pistols, and rifles will reduce theft and increase safety.
At least 100 people shot in Chicago over the extended 4th of July holiday weekend. 100 people. South Loop resident Tara Sonnenberg was shaken.
I was walking my dog at the dog park across from the Marriott, and I heard at least 15 clear gunshots.
At least 19 people were killed, worse than last July 4th, which saw 73 people shot and 11 lives lost.
First look traffic now in the 7 o'clock report. We go back over to Andy Farnsworth.
We've got an odd little bit of southbound delay, I-15 right now, crossing 215 and heading towards 7200 south. We've also got a little bit of slowing on the 201 freeway between 56 West and Bangor Highway. A crash in Parley's Canyon eastbound before you get to Parley Summit, thankfully on the right shoulder, so it's not having more of an impact than it is. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
A New Mexico judge is considering restrictions on evidence, testimony, and arguments ahead of a trial for Alec Baldwin after the actor fatally shot a cinematographer. He is facing a single charge of involuntary manslaughter. Halna Hutchins was killed in October 2021 when a gun Baldwin was holding went off on the set of Western film Rust. Baldwin has pleaded not guilty.
It was a tragic weekend for the family of the Lifetime CEO. KSL News Radio's Mark Jackson reports.
According to a company press release sent Sunday, the two people who died from an accident in Ogden Canyon on Saturday are CEO Richard David Hendrickson and daughter Sally Hendrickson. 3 other family members sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Another daughter was out of the country at the time of the crash. Governor Spencer Cox and Senator Mike Lee both released statements on Sunday asking for prayers for the Hendrickson family. UHP says the crash happened when a bulldozer on the bed of a tow truck fell onto an SUV traveling westbound on SR 39 about 1 p.m. Mark Jackson, KSL News Radio.
A woman was nearly killed when a piece of metal flew through her windshield on I-15. KSL TV's Kirsten Nunez met with Hope McCurdy.
With shards of glass in her eyes and cuts on her face and chest, Hope pulled over and showed troopers what crashed into her windshield, hit her, and landed in her lap.
Of what they think is a leaf spring off of a suspension, maybe an overloaded trailer.
Now she calls this her survival souvenir.
I was lucky because as it spun through the air, it hit my windshield flat. Like, if it had probably come through like this, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Hope is pleading with drivers to secure your loads and check your undercarriage.
Boy, it's one of the reasons why if you're a motorcycle rider, you never follow anybody that's carrying a load, even if it looks like it's secure. You don't get those brakes like you do in a vehicle. There will be several road closures this week we wanted to make you aware of in Centerville and Farmington. East Frontage Road between Jennings Lane and 1340 South will be closed starting this morning and won't reopen until 5 o'clock on Friday. Then in Tooele County, this is going to be a while. Crews will be on SR 36 and I-80 to help widen the road. SR 36 between Sunset Road and Stansbury Parkway will have nightly lane closures, and that construction will continue through the spring of 2025.
2 lakes in the Hayuintas are being poisoned to kill off non-native fish. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi reports.
The lakes are the South Fork of Sheep Creek and Oweep Lake. The rotenone treatment will kill off the brook and brown trout, which are non-native. Tanya Kiefer-Selby with Wildlife Resources encourages people to go to other lakes to recreate and fish.
So it's just one of those things where you don't want to recreate in the water, you don't want to drink the water. Don't take your dog out and hike along those locations.
When the treatment is complete, the lakes will be restocked with Colorado cutthroat trout, which is the native fish. Oweep will be restocked later this year, and the South Fork of the Sheep Creek will be restocked in 2025. Tammy Kikuchi, KSL News Radio.
The end of the holiday weekend saw the beginning of a new era in passenger volume.
The TSA expected Sunday to be its busiest day ever, and it was. Preliminary numbers show that more than 3 million people passed through security checkpoints at U.S. airports for the first time ever in one day. The numbers have spiked during this summer travel season. Overall, the TSA projected screening 32 million people from the end of June through today. Brian Clark, ABC News.
4 NASA crew members are back on Earth after being on Mars, kind of. The crew was in a simulated Mars environment at the Johnson Space Center in Texas. The 3D printed habitat was 1,700 square feet. They worked through realistic challenges a Mars crew might go through, like limited resources, isolation, and delays in communication with Earth.
Did I understand that right? They've been in there for a year. Goodness gracious, away
Yeah.
from your family and everything else. I guess that'd give you a little taste of what might come. 7:09. Let's see how the roads are doing out there if you're making your way in this Monday morning. Traffic and weather together brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Let's go back over to Andy.
Well, if it's travel along I-15, that little bit of southbound delay that had crept in near 7200 South is gone. So right now, both directions of the freeway are at the full speed limit between Bluffdale, Bangerter Highway, that stretch, and downtown Salt Lake City. 201's got some slowing approaching 7200 West, and then right after the 5600 West on-ramp, and then it clears out. Heather?
Starting to see a bit of delay on US 89. This is southbound as you come out of Ogden and approach the Harrison Boulevard interchange. That's the only delay, though. Once you get past that light and head toward I-84, you should be at good speeds. I-15 has most of our traffic, but that's still traveling along at the posted speed limit from Ogden to Salt Lake, and it's less than 30 minutes. Eric?
If you're on the uphill climb to the top of Parley Summit, eastbound I-80, there's a crash right before, about a mile before you get to that point, and it's over on the right shoulder. Fortunately, not enough volume to cause any kind of delays for the folks going by that. I-15 Utah County, you got normal travel times there. 20 minutes northbound from University Avenue in Provo up to Point of the Mountain. I'm Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL hourly forecast. We've got temperatures in the upper 60s to start today at 7 a.m. with sunny skies and light winds. Into the lunch hour, how about temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, sunny skies. We keep the blue skies into the afternoon with a comfortable high of 94. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Won't take long for those temperatures to start to climb at 68 degrees in Salt Lake City.
I guess it's the small town of Marysville that's being impacted by the Silver King fire. We're going to hear from the mayor of Marysville about what's going on there coming up in a moment on KSL.
Shania Twain got back on stage in London for the first time in 21 years.
Rolling out the hits and rolling back the years. The British fans, over 60,000 of them, many donning uncustomary cowboy hats, welcome Shania back, and their memories go back as well.
Yeah, quite a long time. Yeah, I'd say since the 90s. I had her albums as a child, so yes.
It's really taken off, isn't it, country music in the UK?
Her eyes gleaming, Shania thanked the crowd, saying she'll remember this evening forever. At the British Summertime Festival in Hyde Park. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
A Provo woman is claiming the title as the... It's hard to even say with a straight face. She is the fastest mermaid in the world. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson explains.
22-year-old Mia Sim became the fastest mermaid in the world in May when she competed at the Swiss Merlympics in Geneva, Switzerland. KSL.com reports there are 5 categories they compete in: speed, rescue, underwater posing, figures, which is performing 3 of 10 mermaid figures, and ecology, where the athletes dive down and retrieve as much trash as possible in 90 seconds. Of course, all the events are completed while wearing full mermaid or merman gear. Sim placed 15th overall in the adult competition, but broke the record in the speed event. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
Tale of a tail, T-A-I-L. Did you ever hear of the
No.
Merlympics?
I thought I was a swimmer my whole life, and I've never heard of that. That's hysterical.
You ever strapped on a tail
No,
like
afraid
that?
not.
Okay. Trending this hour in the 7 o'clock report. I know a guy that knows the right song to play here. Goose, hit it. John Cena is retiring from professional wrestling after almost 2 decades in the ring. This is walkout song, by the way. He delivered the news to a stadium of World Wrestling Entertainment fans in Toronto, saying 2025 would be his last season. He's making a fair amount of money in movies these days, so why jump off the top rope and break more bones? The crowd booed in disappointment, but Cena promised a farewell tour with dozens of dates and an epic final fight.
Okay, I don't understand this next one. A cyclist is being fined for kissing his wife during the Tour de France. Julian Bernard was cheered on by his friends and family when the race route passed right by his home. He stopped to kiss his wife, but was later fined for the sign of affection. Seriously? He says that smackaroo cost him 200 Swiss francs. The fine was explained as for behavior damaging to the image of the sport. You are taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah, well, that is the Tour de France.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter books are celebrating several anniversaries today. The 3rd book, Harry Potter and the shouldn't that be prisoner?
Of Azkaban?
Yeah.
Yes.
It says prison there, but Prisoner of Azkaban came out July 8th, 1999, making today the 25th anniversary. And the fourth book, Goblet of Fire, came out on this day in the year 2000, believe it or not.
I have such fond memories of standing out in line over at Borders Books. Remember Borders Books used to be right down the street? On, what would that have been? That would have been South Temple, I guess. And when my daughter, who's now 34, when she was just a tween, she was 12 or 13 or 14 at the time, we would get those books right at midnight.
Well, we talk about the impact of, getting kids to read was a major thing, but the relationship and the time spent between parents and children.
It was beautiful. Every one of those, it was just exciting.
Yeah. All right. KSL News Time coming up on 7:15. Let's take a look at the three things you need to know this hour. First,
with a little more than 2 weeks until the Olympics in Paris, it's a busy time for Salt Lake City, Utah's Committee for the Games as they put the final touches on their presentation to host the 2034 Olympics. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, a new fire that started over the weekend is now the largest active wildfire in the state and has forced some Marysville homeowners to evacuate.
Third, it's traffic and weather together.
I-15 still clear of delays in the Salt Lake Valley. Don't have any on the Davis or Utah County Drive of the main corridor. It's been keeping an eye on the city streets that have been pretty slow, including Mountain View and some West Valley, some heavy traffic in Tooele County on SR 36. And actually looking better now around the gates to Hill Air Force Base. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's our last day in the 90s, then it's triple digits. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 68 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
They say everything's big in Texas, and today it's a big storm. Let's get the latest from ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Power is out to nearly 500,000 homes in Texas after Hurricane Beryl made landfall just before sunrise around Matagorda Bay along the Gulf Shore. ABC's Jim Ryan has more from Dallas.
With winds of 80 miles per hour, Beryl was a low-level hurricane at landfall, but in the Houston area,
everyone across the county is at risk of the coming wind.
Lena Hidalgo is Harris County's chief executive.
We could see some creek and bayou flooding depending on how much rain we get and how quickly.
At 6 a.m., nearly 400,000 homes and businesses in southeast Texas had lost electricity. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Back to work today after the 4th of July break for lawmakers in Washington. Following President Biden's poor debate performance, several top Democrats held a conference call over the weekend to discuss the future. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
I was told on this call how House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries didn't outright call or support President Biden. He allowed his members to express their concerns. All of them right now are in listening mode, and they're taking what they're hearing from their members and going right back to the administration and with the president.
Tomorrow, President Biden plays host to members of NATO who will be meeting in Washington. There will likely be a hung parliament in France after elections that resulted in divided power among the left, the right, and the center. Emergency crews still searching for victims after a deadly airstrike in Kyiv, Ukraine. ABC's Ian Pannell at the Foreign Desk with more.
One of the sites targeted was Ukraine's main children's hospital. We visited there many times. It gives critical care to kids with cancer, leukemia, disease, as well as, of course, war wounds. Rescuers are at the scene now, clawing through the rubble, searching for survivors. It's a desperate situation there.
5 Ukrainian cities were struck today with more than 40 missiles of different types. Hamas appearing to drop demands for a permanent ceasefire, raising new hopes for a peace deal that could stop the airstrikes in Gaza and bring more hostages home. You're listening to ABC News.
More on that fire now. The small town of Marysville is being hit hard by the Silver King fire.
KSL TV's Brianna Chavez spoke to the mayor.
We were only able to talk on the phone for just a few minutes, which speaks to just how busy officials and first responders are working. He says he hasn't slept in about a day. People I spoke to are shocked at just how quickly this fire has spread.
It's been incredibly heartbreaking to watch.
Heartbreaking for the town of Marysville as the Silver King fire repeatedly doubles in size from more than 600 acres to about 10,000 over the weekend.
It doesn't feel real, like a terrible, terrible nightmare, honestly.
FEMA says the fire is threatening about 300 homes. Ellery Gowdy says the fire continues to grow closer to her father's property.
He's up on our roof. He's spraying shingles down. They've got skid steers out trying to pull up as much foliage as possible.
Just north of Ellery's family home.
The fire's probably within a mile and a half, maybe, of where we're at right now.
Jonathan Edwards, a pastor in Marysville, started packing up valuable items from one of the ministry buildings.
The mountainside where the fire has been raging for the last few days, there's a lot of fuel there.
Local fire departments, along with federal personnel, are battling the wildfire, facing strong winds and extreme conditions. As the fire remains at 0% containment, many are hoping for a positive outcome.
Everything we have is given to us by the Lord, and we're just stewards of it for a time. And it's all in His hands.
And we're told that FEMA is now providing federal aid to help battle the fire. Governor Spencer Cox was also able to visit the area today. He posted on X saying, quote, "The next 2 weeks will be brutal for fire conditions in our state. Please be careful."
Boy, and then you look at, the temperatures that we're looking at over the next week. It's not going to help things at all. We will continue to keep an eye on the fire and provide you updates as we get them.
7:19 now. Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Andy?
Amanda, it's been a nice drive on the northbound side of I-15 through the valley, and I haven't seen anything change that. It's a little bit heavy around 33rd South is all. 201, earlier slowdowns have cleared around 7200 west, but after that, traffic gets a little bit heavy around 5600 west. Heather?
Well, the roadway with most of the congestion right now up in Weber County is US 89. It's as you make that curve where US 89 turns from Washington Boulevard into US 89, and you'll see a bit of delay at the Harrison Boulevard interchange as well as I-84. But that's the only real slowdown that we have on a major roadway. You have good speed still, I-15, both northbound and southbound between Ogden and Salt Lake. A few of the city streets have a little bit of congestion, but nothing out of the ordinary. Eric?
Still got the Beryl southwestbound I-80 as you go from the quarry down to the mouth of Parley's Canyon. A slight bit of slowing now and then as you're restricted to one right lane. On the other hand, eastbound traffic, a mile before you get to Parley Summit, you got to crash over on the right-hand side, but that is not causing delays. I-15 in Utah County looking good so far. Get ready for memorable summer evenings with the Utah Symphony, July 5th through August 9th in Park City. Tickets are on sale now at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. We've got some absolutely scorching hot temperatures on tap. Today's not bad, though. Sunny skies, 94. Enjoy it because it's going away. Tomorrow, 100 degrees, sunny skies. Wednesday, 103, heat dome building. Thursday, we got 105. We lock it in at 105 again on Friday and Saturday. The only difference is we'll see some partly cloudy skies by Saturday afternoon. Sunday, 101, partly cloudy. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Those overnight temperatures have bottomed out, starting to climb now, 68 degrees in the 7-day forecast, brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
So, can you walk outside in 105 degrees? Not for long. How far could you walk before it started to affect you, I wonder?
Well, it depends on the person, I would guess.
Yeah, of course.
But if you had a lot of water with you.
Yeah, maybe you could.
Yeah.
105 degrees.
I wouldn't,
do it if you didn't have to.
People to do it as a challenge.
I'm just curious because, man, I don't know if I've had very many 105-degree days in my life. That's a new one. All right, we followed the temperatures, of course, and the weather forecast and all of the things that surround that, the issues that you need to know about here on KSL. And I also subscribe to the KSL 3 Things You Need to Know newsletter. So sometimes after I get off the air, I'm busy doing other stuff and I'm not paying it as much attention. And then I get that email when I check my email later in the day, and it lets me know these are the 3 stories the newsroom is working on. This is what they think is important right now. And then if I want more information, there'll be like something I can click on right there in the email. If you want that email to come to your inbox, just text the word inbox, INBOX, one word, to 57500.
Looks like all the markets are in the green just ahead of the morning bell. We'll check that and the rest of your money news next.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. The Utah Days of 47 Rodeo, presented by Zions Bank, takes place at the $17.5 million state-of-the-art Days of 47 Arena at the Utah State Fair Park each July. Executive Director Tommy Joe Lucia joins us with more.
The Utah Days of 47 Rodeo in the heart of Salt Lake City is a must-stop during the summer for your chance to immerse yourself and family into the authentic Pioneer West and make yourself a gold medal memory. The experience includes a fan zone with pony rides, bounce houses, a free petting zoo, and much, much more. Or get your shopping on at our KSL Expo tent. The rodeo boasts of being one of the largest 5-day rodeos in the nation, where contestants run away with lots of money and a chance to win a gold, silver, or bronze medals right during the 2024 Summer Olympic Games being held in Paris. The Utah Days of 47 rodeo is a gold standard in rodeo, one of Utah's longest standing traditions. The rodeo and the other Days of 47 events commemorate July 24, 1847, when a determined company of Mormon pioneers realized their dreams upon entering the Great Salt Lake Valley. So join us for a gold medal memory at Utah's Days of 47 rodeo.
The Utah Days of 47 Rodeo is a time-honored tradition that honors Utah's pioneer heritage and provides education for our community. For more information, visit the Utah Days of 47 Rodeo website. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
At the heart and soul of the Larry H. Miller Company is the connection between people and the places they share. Because we believe that life takes place. Places for families to live, to laugh, and to heal. Places where recreation meets innovation. Places where entrepreneurship is blended with stewardship. Places built on the value of relationships. From the top of our minds to the bottom of our hearts, we're fully invested and fully committed to making the places that will enrich lives for generations to come.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Scammers are stealing tens of billions of dollars from Americans every year. AARP reports internet and telephone scams have been growing exponentially in the last few years, and not very many perpetrators are caught. They believe many of them are from overseas.
Tesla shareholders going to court today because they say asking the company to pay more than $7 billion in attorney's fees is outlandish. It's the latest twist in a legal showdown over Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package. One of the shareholders had sued over Musk's stock options back in 2018 and ultimately won when the package was voided in January.
KSL drives no thunder but a hum when drivers start their engines. NASCAR's first electric race car was unveiled by a handful of car companies in Chicago. They're using a $1.5 million prototype to gauge fan interest in electric racing. NASCAR's head of sustainability says they want to represent electric vehicles in racing as cool, fun, and accessible.
Wouldn't it be funny if the call came over the microphone, "Gentlemen, start your engines," and collectively they all yell, "We did." We're waiting on you to start this race. The futures just ahead of the bill are in the green. The Dow is up 83. The S&P is up about a tenth, 7 points here, and the NASDAQ has gained 16.
Looks like I-80 still has some barrels out for westbound traffic near the mouth of Parley's Canyon, and we do have a crash eastbound a mile before the summit. We'll check that and the rest of your commute just ahead.
It's complicated. These days, that's how people even describe their relationship status. When it comes to the latest complexities in your car, it's gotten really complicated. The experts at AAMCO undergo the most rigorous training to stay on top of the latest car technologies, so there's nothing we can't fix. Well, except for that complicated relationship. When it comes to that, you're on your own. AA, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free.
July has some wacky holidays. Did you know that it's National Picnic Month? But my favorite is National Carpet Cleaning Month. At Zero Res, it's the holiday we wait for all year. Our ZR water cleans carpet without leaving behind any icky, crunchy residue. Top off your clean with an expert air duct service for a healthier home. So celebrate with Zero Res and mention the KSL special to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $99 plus 2 free tickets to Broovies Cinema Pub. Get showtimes and tickets at broovies.com and book your cleaning today at zerores.com.
Inside Sources with Boyd Matheson. When we're trying to digest the news of the day, we have to remember that instant certainty is the enemy of truth. A flashy headline may distract you from the real issue and the important conversations underneath.
Inside Sources with Boyd Matheson, 1 to 3 on KSL News Radio.
Just 2 weeks left before the historic announcement.
Tim is going to Paris. He'll be live for us on KSL all that week.
Get special coverage on the final preparations and decision for Salt Lake City 2034. Listen at 7:30, 8:30, and 10:30 in the morning this week on KSL News Radio.
I am really looking forward to Wednesday, going down to Nephi and the Ute Stampede Rodeo.
That's going to be fun.
It's happening this week. I haven't been down there in years. 90 years of carnivals, flying cowboys, music, and extreme bulls on July 10th. Package discounts on Wednesday, Thursday. If you want more information, visit utestampede.com. I'll be there broadcasting during Jeff Kaplan's afternoon news between 3 and 6 o'clock. It's 7:29. Time for a look at the drive this morning, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. How we looking, Andy?
Not bad. I-15, though, beginning to see a little bit of slowing in Sandy near 90th, and then some right at 33rd South. Mountain View's a little bit better than usual going through West Valley, but Bangerter's a bit heavy coming down the hill at 4700 South right now. Heather?
We've got a little bit delay on the West Davis corridor. This is as you're heading through the Kaysville area. We'll try to see if there's a crash in the area, but that's very unusual. We don't often see any slowdown on West Davis Highway. Now, if you transition from there onto either I-15 or Legacy Parkway, you are at the posted speed limit as you make your way toward downtown Salt Lake City or the airport, and still a bit of congestion on US 89 right around Harrison Boulevard in South Ogden. Eric?
Tooele County traffic seeing a little bit of slowing between Erda and Stansbury, then at the Pole Canyon intersection on the way up to Lake Point's entrance to I-80 if you're northbound, getting ready to go eastbound on I-80. So those are the problem spots out in Parley's Canyon. Speaking of I-80, you do have some westbound slowing going through the construction zone. You're down to one right lane from around the quarry just before that down close to the mouth of Parley's Canyon. You got an eastbound crash a mile before the summit that's over on the right-hand side. They're still clearing that up. For a limited time, New America First Credit Union members get $100 when opening a checking account or $50 when opening a youth checking account. Head to americafirst.com and join today. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
And the weather forecast, 94 is our high today, and then it warms up from there. 100 tomorrow, 103 Wednesday, 105 Thursday through the weekend. Right now it's 68 downtown.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News with Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio.
102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning, KSL News Time, 7:30.
KSL's top story this hour.
Salt Lake City's committee for the Games will head to Paris in 2 weeks to make their final pitch on why Utah should host the 2034 Olympics.
KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson reports.
President and CEO of Salt Lake City, Utah Committee for the Games, Fraser Bullock, says it's a busy time.
We're putting all of our final Paris preparations together. We're polishing up our presentation. We're finishing up contractual discussions with the IOC. So we're very much on track, but it's a busy time.
Bullock says they're trying to stay humble but hopeful about the idea of hosting the Winter Games. The last step in confirming their bid is when they take the stage before the International Olympic Committee on Pioneer Day. Then the IOC will vote and make their announcement around 3 a.m. Utah time. Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
We've got a very hot week ahead with a chance to see 100-degree plus for 6 days starting tomorrow. KSL News Radio's Adam Small is live with the details. Adam?
Tim, we're looking at a high of 94 today in Salt Lake City, but it is only going to get worse. KSL meteorologist Matt Johnson's forecasting a high of 100 degrees tomorrow, 103 Wednesday, and then
the hottest we'll see is probably going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with this heat wave. All three of those days have a chance to see 105.
Matt says those days, record-breaking temperatures may not be off the table. But if it makes you feel better, St. George, it's going to be much worse, looking at 110-plus for the next few days. They're forecasted high on Thursday, 115 degrees. Live, Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
The heat is leading to local doctors seeing more burn patients. KSL News Radio's Candy Zalale has the story.
Around this time of year, most fires and burns are a result of hot playground equipment, fireworks, hot cars, and barbecuing. The University of Utah Health and Burn Center and the Salt Lake City Fire Department encourages the public to check the heat of surfaces before sitting or playing on them. Barbecuing away from home structures, follow firework regulations of your city, and to treat burns with cool water and seek medical assistance.
A burn surgeon at University of Utah Health says the month of July is when they usually see a spike in burn patients.
We're learning more about that deadly shooting in Riverton last week. Investigators say the suspect pulled a knife and lunged at the officer while they were conducting a sobriety test. Investigators say the officer fired a shot in self-defense and killed the suspect. The identity of the suspect has yet to be released.
A man is facing several charges after a Sandy officer found him with no bike lights and drugs. When the officer tried to talk to the bikers about the lights, they sped off and then later admitted they were meeting for a drug deal. 41-year-old Jeffrey Hatfield was arrested on multiple charges for drugs and burglary tools, theft, and, of course, missing bicycle lamps.
KSL's top national stories this hour. The first hurricane of the 2024 Atlantic storm season is battering the Texas Gulf Coast.
Corpus Christi went into the weekend in the crosshairs of Hurricane Beryl, but the storm had different ideas, drifting more to the northeast and threatening major impacts on Galveston, where Craig Brown is the mayor.
We have issued a voluntary evacuation of the west end of Galveston Island.
That didn't keep some surfers off the beach.
We love to get out there on the waves, get reckless, get crazy.
Beryl will quickly weaken back to tropical storm status later in the day, drenching northeast Texas and then Arkansas. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Las Vegas reached a record high. The city broke its record for the all-time high by 3 degrees. The city hit 117 several times and then peaked at 120. Dwayne Doyle is visiting from Kentucky.
We're drinking lots of water and trying to stay in the vehicle as much as possible, just driving up and down the strip. That it is sweltering hot.
It's the highest temperature ever recorded since the city began keeping track in 1930.
All right, let's get a look at first look traffic here with Andy.
We've had a pretty good drive for the most part this morning, but a few I-15 slowdowns are appearing southbound in Roy and on I-15, and then northbound between 106th and 90th South. We still have I-80 a little bit slow right before the mouth of the canyon, and if you're getting off at Foothill, the heaviest traffic is just at the beginning of it, going up towards about 1700 South. It clears. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Developing news this morning, President Joe Biden is doubling down, telling Capitol Hill Democrats in a letter he is not stepping aside, and it's time for the party drama to end. The president also said any weakening of resolve or lack of clarity about the task ahead only helps former President Trump and hurts them.
A county commissioner in southern Utah is refusing to certify the primary election results because of some disputed postmark dates. KSL News Radio's Michael Commute is live with that story. Michael?
Tim, what we're looking at here is 700 ballots from around southern Utah. And in Iron County, Commissioner Paul Cosens accuses the Postal Service of making these mail-in ballots late by several days. Fellow County Clerk John Whitaker suspects this inundation of late votes stems from the county's mail routes. You see, mail originally went to Provo for processing, but now it heads south to Las Vegas. This means a ballot mailed on time in Utah could get postmarked after the deadline in Nevada. At any rate, other state leaders are urging the state legislature to hold an emergency session to address this problem. Reporting live, Michael Commute, KSL News Radio.
A court hearing for Utah's 2nd Congressional District candidate Colby Jenkins is scheduled for later today. He filed a lawsuit against Washington County, asking the courts to require them to turn over information for voters whose ballots raise questions and need to be so-called cured. The race against Representative Celeste Malloy has still not been called. She is just over 300 votes ahead.
Salt Lake County Animal Services urging pet owners in the avenues to keep a very close eye on your furry friends after several were found injured or dead. KSL News Radio's Beryl Johansson is live with the details. Beryl?
Tim, Salt Lake County Animal Services has received multiple reports of dead pets along with recent coyote sightings. We don't know for sure if the coyotes are responsible, but they do suspect the deaths are from some kind of wildlife attack. Officials are now asking people to be extra cautious of wildlife. They recommend pet owners keep their animals indoors or on a leash when they take them outside. Live, Beryl Johansson, KSL News Radio.
Some northbound I-15 slowdowns in Sandy, heading past 106 South up to 90th. We'll check that and the rest of your commute, traffic, and weather coming up next.
Spend your workday with a talk show that makes you feel better about the news.
Debbie is the voice of reason, and Dave reminds me of my little brother. Well-spoken, and they're a great team together.
Dave and Debbie, live from 9 to noon, or podcast the show on the app for KSL News Radio.
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors. I want to tell you about our famous "You Don't Need a Warranty" warranty. That's right, it's a warranty you don't need, but we give it to you anyway. Let me explain. Most warranty problems for siding, gutters, and windows are caused by not installing stuff right in the first place. If you rush the work, cut corners, or use subpar materials. You're just begging for problems later. At RGS Exteriors, we don't tolerate careless workmanship. We slow down, focus on every detail, and use only the best materials. We prevent warranty work by doing the job right in the first place. That's why the 10-year everything guarantee we give you is also known as our "You don't need a warranty" warranty. We absolutely will be there if you need to use it. But honestly, you probably will never have to. Done right the first time. That's the RGS way. For siding, gutters, and windows, call 801-280-3110 or visit us at rgsexteriors.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
We have these heat warnings out for Utah, but just for giggles, I looked at the forecast for Las Vegas since we've talked about that. Yeah. The coolest day of the next 10 is 109.
Oh, wow.
The high, 118, coming on Wednesday and Thursday.
All righty then.
Yeah, so maybe that 102, 105 isn't quite so bad.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
You can jog in that.
Right. We'll keep an eye on the weather.
7:39, traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon, Andy.
Amanda, North 15, delays increasing now as you drive between the Bangalore Highway exit and 106 South. If you're joining the freeway north of 106th, there isn't any slowing all the rest of the way to Salt Lake City on I-15, but Mountain View's backed up in West Valley around 3500 South. Heather?
We are below the speed limit southbound I-15 as you go past I-84 interchange and head down toward Roy. Once you get past Roy, those speeds pick up again all the way into downtown Salt Lake City. We've had congestion for a while on US 89. Most of that is heading southbound right near the Harrison Boulevard interchange in South Ogden, but most everyone else is moving along pretty well in Weber and Davis counties with no accidents reported. Eric?
Well, it's taking a while to get those barrels up if you're on Parley's Canyon westbound heading from Park City into the valley. Because of that, you've only got the right lane available, and we're starting to see some slowing now just right before the quarry through that area, and then it clears up by the time you get to the mouth of the canyon. Taking that right-hand turn north on Foothill Drive, expect a little bit of delays heading up to about 1300 South, and you do have a crash eastbound I-80 now. This has been there for a while, about a mile before the top of Parley Summit, and all the crash participants, so to speak, are over on the right shoulder. Experience the best at the Moran Eye Center, located in your neighborhood. Get the care you need for anything from dry eye to cataracts. Moran provides hope, understanding, and treatment for all. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL pollen report has grass and ragweed in the moderate, trees and mold in the low. Really, it looks like all categories start to move up as we head through the midweek, so maybe have those allergy pills handy as we progress into the week. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
We just do a quick refresh here. With the sun up, so are the temperatures. It's 70 degrees downtown.
We do have that excessive heat warning for this week. We're going to talk more about that with Matt Johnson, our meteorologist, just ahead on KSL News Radio.
First, though, let's check in with Jeff Kaplan. It's time for his Minute of News, brought to you by the law offices of Jordan Wilcox.
I'm going to tell you about a man who died last week at the age of 85. See if you can figure out what he invented. I can almost guarantee that if you went to school in the 80s or 90s, you know this guy's creation. His name was Ernest Bryant Crutchfield. Growing up in Alabama, his friends called him Crutch. He graduated from Auburn in 1960 and got a job with a paper company, sort of like Dunder Mifflin. And in the 1970s, it became clear that he understood teenagers. He created products they'd buy. Yeah, school supply stuff. He even helped his company get involved in the first teen-focused back-to-school TV special, a 1971 concert special featuring the Beach Boys and sponsored by his paper company, Mead Products. The special was called Good Vibrations from Central Park. Figure out what he invented yet? Well, in 1976, he noticed schools were offering more subjects. Sales of folders were rising, so he invented a folder for folders. And at a legendary lunch, Crutch asked his team, "What are we going to call it?" And his research director said, "The Trapper Keeper."
Trapper Keeper, which also has a notepad and pencil clip. After school, snap it shut, take everything home.
Trapper and Trapper Keeper, only from Mead.
What could be neater?
A date with her.
Maybe you get weird vibes from that commercial, but they sold 75 million Trapper Keepers, maybe one of them to you. But Mead stopped making them in 2002. Once we had the internet, there wasn't much paper to organize, and the Trapper Keeper, E. Bryant Crutchfield's stroke of genius, is but a memory that gives a lot of grown-up kids good vibrations when they think back to childhood.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Jeff's back this afternoon, 3 to 7 o'clock here on KSL. This Look at His Minute, brought to you by Jordan Wilcox. IRS harassing you? The law offices of Jordan Wilcox can help, so visit taxhelput.com.
Hi, I'm Utah tax attorney Jordan Wilcox. When the IRS invades your life, keep in mind, it's not just you.
My name is Phil, and I got myself into a little bit of tax trouble by not filing taxes. I got a notice from the IRS for not filing, and another notice, and added up to like $100,000 that I owed them. As I'm sitting there in work and in shock and tearing up, what am I going to do? Because that's a lot of money.
Don't face the IRS alone. With everything in your life at stake, don't trust just anyone.
Jordan actually was close to my office in Layton, and they got the IRS to settle for $10,500.
You need someone to fight for you.
From $100,000 to $10,500 was just incredible.
Visit taxhelput.com and get relief today. Let's solve your tax problems now. Visit taxhelput.com.
Saved me from being homeless, I would imagine, and just made my world a better place.
That's taxhelput.com.
Beehive Plumbing now offers premier service. 10 years of coverage on both parts and labor. Call or visit beehivepremier.com for expert experience every time.
KSL News Time, 7:45. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah came in second nationwide in the last 10 years for the number of homes built in areas for high risk of wildfire. I'm KSL News Radio's Josue Sanchez.
Second, an Iron County commissioner is refusing to certify the primary election results after hundreds of ballots were postmarked after the deadline.
Third, it's traffic and weather together.
I-15 slowdowns from Bluffdale up to about 106 south, and then a little bit more around 33rd south. We've got I-80 backed up coming down from the East Canyon towards the quarry because lane restrictions haven't been removed from overnight. And we still have a little bit of 201 delay near 7200 West. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's high of 94 is the calm before the heat dome. I'm Matt Johnson.
We'll talk more with Matt in just a second. Right now, 70 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
We just heard within the hour that President Biden has sent a letter to congressional Democrats declining to step aside. Let's get the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Biden hoping to shift the discussion this week from the future of his presidency to the NATO summit in Washington. Biden will attend a series of official events and will hold a news conference. Congress is also heading back into session, meaning more face-to-face meetings among Democratic lawmakers. Hurricane Beryl taking out power for hundreds of thousands of customers along the Texas Gulf Coast.
Coming off the Yucatan Peninsula, Tropical Storm Beryl began to gather power from the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, so that when it finally made landfall this morning near Matagorda Bay, Texas, it was a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 80 miles per hour. From here, Beryl will head northeast, dumping rain on at least 10 states through Thursday.
ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas. Boeing agreeing to a Justice Department plea deal to avoid a criminal trial over two deadly crashes involving its 737 MAX jets. At least 100 people shot in Chicago over the 4th of July weekend. 19 were killed. This is ABC News.
Our week starts off hot, and it's only going to get hotter. We may see several days in a row now of triple digits.
Joining us now live to break down this heat wave is KSL meteorologist Matt Johnson. Is there a heat advisory?
Yeah, we've got heat advisories, watches, and warnings. The watches and warnings are a little more serious, indicating that there is a higher chance that we see oppressive heat. So we are looking at a 5 to 6 day stretch of triple digits, with some of these temperatures having a chance to rival all-time highs in Salt Lake and St. George.
What are those highs, the all-time highs?
Right, so Salt Lake is 107, and St. George is 117. For Salt Lake, there's a 10 to 15% chance, indicated by models, that we could meet or surpass that number. For St. George, it's lesser. It's less than 5% chance. However, just to even have it on the table is that means we've got serious heat, right? And all-time hottest ever recorded. You don't like getting close to that number.
No. And you were telling me just a minute ago that there are already cities that have already passed their hottest ever recorded.
Right, yeah. I have a list right here just from yesterday alone. Palmdale, 115. That's down in Southern California. Redding, up in Northern California, all-time high, new one, of 119. Las Vegas, 120. They broke an all-time high. And then also another hottest recorded in Palm Springs at 124.
Yeah, we heard of a motorcycle rider, I think, that died. I don't know why you want to be riding your motorcycle through Death Valley
120.
this time of year. We've heard more and more about this heat dome. Can you explain what that is, and is it setting up more frequently than we've had in the past?
Yeah, I would say most definitely these things are setting up more. The frequency level at which they occur, yes, is going up. Last summer we kind of staved off a lot of the heat simply because the large-scale pattern didn't support it. But basically, a heat dome is a very efficient high-pressure system where you have a lot of sinking air. And we call them heat domes because it's basically like it works as a convection oven.
Oh, wow.
You're getting circulating heat day in, day out, and your cooling at night is not very efficient. So even at night, it's pretty warm, and your AC unit's going to be working extra hard.
All right, don't go away, Matt, because I want to know is there any relief in sight in the long models there. We'll take a look at that when we come back with Matt.
Let's get a look at traffic and weather together here. Brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Back to Andy Farnsworth.
And right now through the valley, North 15 delays. Not too bad, but it's pretty heavy. Stop and go around the Bluffdale exit, but it stays a little bit under the speed limit as far as 106th. And now a heavy stretch from 45th to 33rd South. It's gotten busy again on Mountain View, especially at 3500 South. If you're planning on taking Foothill, you're going to see delays basically from 21st South intersection up to 2300 East intersection. Heather?
The busiest roads in Weber and Davis counties appear to be in the Ogden area, and includes Harrison Boulevard right near Weber State University, as well as US 89 southbound approaching I-84. That's all pretty typical this time of the morning. You still have pretty good speeds southbound I-15 where most of our traffic is going, but you're going to see some brake lights from time to time as you approach Roy area and again near downtown Salt Lake. Eric.
Road construction crews are making some progress picking up those barrels that are restricting things westbound I-80 coming out of the canyon down to one lane. You still got an eastbound crash right near the top of Parley, about a mile before that exit, and most of the participants have moved away. Still got a couple of folks over on the right shoulder, including a semi-truck. I-15 in Utah County, northbound, southbound, looking good. Northbound out of Tooele County, SR 36, not bad. Call 801-288-9376 and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $99, plus 20% off air duct cleaning with Zero Res. ZeroRes.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Okay, walk us through, Matt.
Okay, soak it in today, folks. 94 is the high, sunny skies, and then say goodbye to the nice weather. We'll go 100 degrees on Tuesday, 103 on Wednesday, high pressure building. We're going to go 105 on Thursday, and there's a chance to see 105 again Friday and into Saturday. Now, the light at the end of the tunnel would be Saturday into Sunday. High pressure does nudge off to the east, and that could allow for a little bit of early season monsoon moisture to sneak in here, providing afternoon cloud cover and maybe even some rain chances. So that would be really the only chance to cool down, but that only takes us down to 101 on Sunday.
Come on, monsoon.
Come on, baby.
Whoever thought we'd be looking forward to 101.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll tell you, the other thing this does is make it for a bumpy ride on planes, because planes are trying to come in for landing, and the heat is saying, nope, nope, nope.
That's true.
So just expect that if you're going to take a ride out of town on a plane anytime soon. Thank you, sir. Right now, sunny skies and 70 in Salt Lake City.
IVC is celebrating 20 years providing quality service in Utah. You've probably heard their saying by now, life starts when the pain stops. IVC is the most trusted interventional and vein center in the state, and they've been voted Best of Utah Valley 10 years running. The 7 physicians at IVC provide state-of-the-art, comprehensive vein care with many years of experience. The team at IVC takes the time to get to know you and your veins so you're comfortable with the right diagnosis and the right treatment. Patients are like family at IVC. You've also heard many radio ads over the years with real people describing how IVC has dramatically improved their quality of life by eliminating the pain and discomfort caused by varicose veins. Well, what are you waiting for? Don't let vein disease slow you down even one more day, because life starts when the pain stops. Visit ivein.com today to set up a free screening. That's ivein.com.
Get triple rewards on your Rewards Visa card from Cyprus Credit Union when you spend on gas and travel from now through August. Learn more or apply today at cypruscu.com.
On Wednesday, August 14th, the Orrin G. Hatch Foundation will present U.S. Senator John Thune with the Titan of Public Service Award at the Grand American Hotel in Salt Lake City. You're invited to join Senator Thune, a senior member of Senate leadership, as we pay tribute to his decades of public service to our country. Seats are limited, so reserve your tickets today for this special event at orrinhatchfoundation.org. That's ORRIN hatchfoundation.org.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
She wants a diamond, and you want to give her one. Sierra West Jewelers carries beautiful laboratory-grown diamonds, with 90 pointers starting at only $499. 1 carat starting at only $789, and 2 carats start at $1,698. If it's fine jewelry you want, find it at Sierra West Jewelers, across from the malls in Sandy, Orem, and Murray, or at SierraWestJewelers.com.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. A new report shows the COVID pandemic caused more than, this number is just astounding, $18 trillion in economic losses to the U.S. The large figure includes the cost of excess deaths, lost income, medical treatment for things like long COVID, medical health cost, and educational losses. The report from the Heritage Foundation's Nonpartisan Commission on China also placed blame for the outbreak on the Chinese government.
Teachers in Baltimore are trying to get a so-called baby bonus. It's a program that would give $1,000 to new parents to reduce childhood poverty that starts at birth. Supporters have now secured the necessary signatures, so voters will have a chance to decide on the program come November.
And 2 rival amusement park companies are merging. The $8 billion merger between Six Flags and Cedar Fair will make them the largest amusement park operator in the U.S. Together, they operate 42 amusement and water parks across 17 states.
Wow, the markets are way up in early trading. Dow's up 227. We're at 39,607. S&P's up 12. The Nasdaq up 31.
Northbound I-15 now slowing from Point of the Mountain to Sandy, as well as another northbound stretch through Murray. Looks like the usual spots there. We'll check traffic and weather together next.
We have some exciting news to announce.
Master Electrical Service has joined Mountain Home Services.
And I can speak from experience, Deb. Mountain Home Services installed my furnace years ago, and it's been amazing.
And we know Master Electrical Service has been your trusted source for all your electrical needs, like your EV chargers, your generators, and recessed lighting.
But now that they've joined Mountain Home Services, they can help you with your HVAC, your heating and air, as well as your plumbing.
And it comes with that upfront pricing guarantee. I love the upfront pricing guarantee because it means no hidden fees.
100% satisfaction guarantee as well.
Master Electrical Service has been the name you trust since 1954.
They're the company we trust, and so can you.
Check them out now at mountainhomeutah.com.
That's mountainhomeutah.com, or give them a call at 801-543-2222. So easy to remember, 801-543-2222.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. Listen, we're fiduciaries. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. That's 888-999-6370. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. Now, imagine how that would be if you could actually retire 3 to 5 years sooner than your plan was. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan, taking into consideration any rental properties that you have, any pension income that you have, your Social Security. Listen, we put that all together for you in writing. It will allow us to build your income based on inflation. You know, inflation has been rapidly rising. You and I both need a plan that whatever we start out our income at, in 5 or 10 years, we're going to need 40% more income. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Just 2 weeks left before the historic announcement.
Tim is going to Paris. He'll be live for us on KSL all that week.
Get special coverage on the final preparations and decision for Salt Lake City 2034. Listen at 7:30, 8:30, and 10:30 in the morning this week on KSL News Radio.
7:59, traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon. Andy?
Amanda, travel on I-15 getting worse in Murray now between 45th and 33rd South. You've also got pretty heavy traffic between Bluffdale and about 114th South. Bangerter wait time is only in Taylorsville near 47th South. Mountain View really only going to have to wait through the 3500 South intersection for any amount of time. Heather?
Our slowest traffic right now is southbound I-15 between Beck Street and downtown Salt Lake City. If you're trying to get to the airport, transitioning off of Legacy Parkway onto the West Side Belt, you're also going to see quite a few brake lights just after 2200 North down to the I-80 West turnoff to the airport. But most everyone else is at speed right now in Weber and Davis counties. Eric?
Looks like the barrels have all been picked up westbound I-80 as you get closer to the mouth of Parley's Canyon. So both lanes now back open. You still got an eastbound crash a mile before the top of Parley Summit. Hey, Utah County, Jones Paint and Glass is opening a new location in Payson. Be sure to come to their grand opening celebration on July 27th from 8 to 5. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
94 today. You heard Matt say that'll be the coolest of the next 7 and the only one that won't be in triple digits, believe it or not. Sunny downtown, 72 degrees this hour.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, we're counting down 16 days until the historic announcement, Salt Lake City 2034.
Good morning. KSL News Time is 8 o'clock. This is Utah's Morning News. I'm Tim Hughes.
And I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story this hour.
There is a new wildfire in southern Utah that's spreading quickly and threatening hundreds of homes.
KSL News Radio's Adam Small begins our live team coverage, Utah Fire Watch. Adam?
Amanda, the Silver King fire is burning on the Beaver-Paiute County line. According to Utah Fire Info, the fire has burned already well over 10,000 acres, and it's roughly doubled in size 3 times since just Saturday morning. FEMA says the fire is threatening nearly 300 homes, at least as of yesterday, and some Marysvale homeowners have already been evacuated. KSL TV spoke with some locals who are still trying to protect their homes, including Ellery Gowdy.
It doesn't feel real, like a terrible, terrible nightmare, honestly.
The fire was started by lightning and today is still 0% contained. Fire crews have updated us, though they are working to build a fire barrier in some way to get some kind of containment on this thing. Live, Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Speaking of fires, one broke out at a commercial pallet manufacturing facility in Logan over the weekend. Fire officials say the exterior of the building was damaged, along with a semi-truck and pallet material. Multiple departments responded to the fire. Luckily, no one was injured, and the cause of that fire is still under investigation.
An old grill is believed to have started a fire responsible for destroying several homes in Price. KSL News Radio's Michael Commute continues our team coverage. Michael?
Amanda, this all started yesterday afternoon, and Fire Chief David Johnson says this blaze started at Castle Heights Drive before it began to grow.
First reporting units advised that there were one structure fully engulfed, threatening other structures. Upon arrival of the engine, there's 2 more houses involved.
Fortunately, everyone was safely evacuated, but 3 families are left displaced and 1 person is in the hospital because of this fire. The grill that started it all was evidently worn down and unable to contain its own embers. Reporting live, Michael Commute, KSL News Radio.
Utah is number 2 in the country for building new homes in high fire risk areas in the last decade. It's one reason why Utah Insurance Commissioner John Pike says some insurance companies are balking at coverage. But he also says the state can encourage communities to be more prepared for fires.
We could consider requiring fire-safe construction. Some states have done that. We could promote programs such as FireWise. It's a program and communities voluntarily can go through and kind of become certified.
Pike says insurance companies can decline coverage or raise rates for homeowners in those high-risk areas.
KSL's top national stories now. Project 2025 is getting attention from Democratic lawmakers. It's a plan for an overhaul of the federal government drafted by former Trump administration officials. ABC's Catherine Folders explains.
What Biden's campaign has pointed to is that the current spokesperson for the Trump campaign, her name's Caroline Leavitt, that she appeared actually in a 2023 video promoting Project 2025's training program. Now, she would say, wait a second, I didn't work at the Trump campaign at the time. I was working somewhere else. But the point that Democrats are trying to show is this direct link, if you will, to Trump, the Trump campaign, and this group.
The former president is insisting he has nothing to do with the project.
The Boeing company will plead guilty to criminal fraud charges stemming from 2 deadly crashes of 737 MAX jetliners. We get the story from ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
The plea deal must receive the approval of a federal judge to take effect. The Justice Department says the government determined that Boeing violated an agreement that had protected it from prosecution for more than 3 years, deceiving regulators. For the aircraft maker, the choice was a guilty plea and a more than $240 million fine or face a trial. Boeing also agrees to an independent monitor and investing millions more in safety programs.
Those 2 crashes killed 346 people. In a separate court filing, attorneys for families of crash victims also are opposing that deal.
First look traffic now on a Monday morning, and here's Andy Farnsworth.
And right now, travelers on the freeway still struggling. A couple of spots northbound around Bangerter Highway and then at 4500 South, especially if you're just passing through that area right now. Westbound I-80 still has some slowing just before the quarry from some earlier lane restrictions, and it's pretty heavy on both I-15 and 215 and as you come from North Salt Lake right into Salt Lake City on the Davis County border. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
We know the names of the 2 people killed in an accident in Ogden Canyon this weekend.
The accident involving a tow truck with a bulldozer on back and an SUV claimed the life of the CEO of Clearfield-based Lifetime Products, Richard David Hendrickson, and his daughter Sally. Hendrickson's wife and 2 other family members suffered non-life-threatening injuries. UHP says a bulldozer on the back of the tow truck fell off, crashing into the SUV, traveling westbound on SR 39 about 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Governor Spencer Cox and Senator Mike Lee both sent statements on Sunday. Governor Cox saying Hendrickson was a friend and an incredible leader. Another family member was out of the country at the time of Saturday's crash. Mark Jackson, KSL News Radio.
A woman is pleading with drivers to secure their loads and check their undercarriage after a large piece of metal flew through her windshield. KSL TV's Kirsten Nunez reports after meeting with Hope McCurdy.
Just last year, Utah Highway Patrol responded to more than 18,000 calls related to road hazards. Now, 420 of those caused a crash. And like Hope's, a handful of those were caught on camera.
It's definitely one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me, and one of the most miraculous things I've probably walked away from.
Authorities believe the debris is a leaf spring from a suspension kit, and it possibly sheared off because it came from an overloaded trailer.
2 bodies of water in the high Uintas will be poisoned to kill off the non-native fish. Tanya Kiefer-Selby with Wildlife Resources says that rotenone will soon be put into the South Fork of Sheep Creek and Oweep Creek to kill the brook and brown trout.
So it's a temporary closure. It just affects those treated waters, and it prohibits the public from entering the water, drinking the water from the sources in the treatment areas, and then hiking and other access will remain open.
Kiefer-Selby says people should not recreate or fish or let their dogs go in the water in those lakes until the treatments are complete. After the treatment, Colorado cutthroat, which are native fish, will be reintroduced in Oweep later this year and in the South Fork of Sheep Creek in 2025.
We don't have a lot of crashes to report, but we do have some slowing northbound I-15 in Murray, for instance. We'll check it. Traffic and weather together coming up next.
Reliability, steadiness, trusted voices.
I'll listen to KSL in the morning. I use it to find my weather, to find my traffic. When you ask me what news is, I think of KSL first.
We have you covered at KSL News Radio.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? X marks the spot. Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver that includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix. That's Xfinity internet and Stream Saver for just $35 a month. All your favorites all in one place, only from Xfinity. So go ahead and binge some shows, stream some movies, and save some money all at the same time. For more watching and less spending, X marks the spot. Switch to Xfinity, the network made for streaming, and bring on the good stuff. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity, internet, or TV, and price is subject to change.
This summer, bring your family together with a beautiful Bullfrog Spa to relax and connect with each other in your own perfect backyard gathering spot. Only Bullfrog Spas provides award-winning designs and personalized hot tub hydrotherapy for the whole family. Right now, get up to $4,000 off MSRP, plus a free accessories package at Bullfrog Spa's Independence Day sale. And ask about our limited clearance models for even bigger savings. Stop by your nearby Bullfrog Spa's factory store today.
Bullfrog Spas. Peaceful body, peaceful mind, peaceful home.
Stop paying 5-star pricing for 3-star service. It's time for a change. Welcome to Beehive Plumbing's Premier Experience. With our Beehive Premier plan, you have access to our VIP phone number and website to ensure prompt and reliable plumbing service by an expert 5-star technician. Why Beehive? Our Premier package comes with an industry-leading warranty, giving you up to 10 years of coverage on both parts and labor. Yeah, that's right, 10-year warranty. Call Beehive Plumbing today or visit beehivepremier.com for expert experience every time.
Keeping an eye on several fires in the state, and with these temperatures that are coming this week, it's going to be especially important to pay attention if you're in an area where one of these is burning. Several hundred homes are being threatened in southern Utah from that one wildfire that has now tripled in size 3 times over the weekend. It's 8:09. Time for a look at traffic and weather together, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. We go back over to Andy Farnsworth.
And right now, if you're traveling in the Salt Lake Valley, the drive has been pretty quiet for the most part. We haven't had any crashes. We have had some slowdowns, and we still have some right before the Bangerter exit in Draper as you come over Point of the Mountain. And then again, between 53rd and 45th South, it's a bit sluggish right now. Foothill slowdowns are still there around 17th South, 23rd East intersections, but that's about it otherwise from the Foothill exit off 215 all the way up to Sunnyside. Heather?
We do have our typical slowdown southbound I-15 between Beck Street and downtown. If you're on the west side belt between Legacy and the I-80 West turnoff to the airport, you also have a few brake lights showing up through that stretch. No problems further north, though. It's a good drive on I-84 through the mountains to and from Morgan, and city streets are in fairly good shape. Eric.
Crash is still being cleared up eastbound I-80 about a mile before the top of Parley Summit. We're down to a couple of vehicles, but then a tow truck showed up along with another vehicle, so still something to pay attention to. It's over on the right shoulder. If you continue on from that point, you do have some typical slowing starting to happen east of Kimball Junction. Again, this is for eastbounders heading over to the turnoff to go south on US 40. I-15 Utah County, northbound, southbound, that's looking good. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
How about 94 degrees today? Sunny skies. Don't get used to this nice weather, folks. We've got 100 on tap for your Tuesday sunny skies. Heat dome building Wednesday, 103. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Those temperatures climbing quickly now, 73 in Salt Lake City.
Is Debbie back from her vacation yet, I wonder?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess we'll find out. David Dujanovic coming up at 9 o'clock, and we'll talk with them about the show just ahead on KSL News Radio.
Remember to look for us streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. Thanks for riding along this Monday morning. Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
I was reading about a couple that worked with the Stern team. You know, my husband and I worked recently with the Stern team because we were buying a condo, looking forward to downsizing.
Yeah.
So we worked with Cammie over at the Stern team and the rest of the team. But then I was reading about Dave and Sherry, who were, getting ready to retire. They wanted to sell their home and move to Kansas. So they call the Stern team, and the Stern team not only sells their home for $25,000 above the list price, but gets them in touch with a real estate agent in Kansas so they close on both homes before they even pack. Talk about reducing the stress of this experience.
Yeah, and I think everybody wants to sell their home as quickly as possible for as much money as possible.
Right.
But here's another story where they were able to successfully negotiate a 60-day rent-free lease back for the seller while he continues to search for his next home. I've never heard of anything like it.
Yeah, they're always looking for new ways so what's your challenge? Go ahead, challenge them at the Stern team. And you can find out more, by the way, when you go to sternteam.com, you can just type in your address and it'll give you an idea of what your home will sell for right now.
It's a great place to start. Sternteam.com, that is. That's sternteam.com, or just Google the Stern Team.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it's hot like this, air conditioners struggle to keep up. Parts are under more stress, and sometimes those parts fail. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and no one helps more homeowners maintain and repair their air conditioners than Any Hour Services. As a matter of fact, last year, over 32,000 homeowners called Any Hour Services for help maintaining and repairing their systems. Any Hour Services has over 100 HVAC technicians to help with everything from maintenance, repair, to installing a new system. This summer, there'll be a lot of people told they need to replace their air conditioner, and they'll wonder, do I really need to? If you're told you need to replace your air conditioner and you still have questions, Any Hour Services can give you a second opinion and let you know what options are available. Maybe it just needs a little maintenance or a small repair. Maybe it does need to be replaced, but if you don't feel good about being told you need to replace your air conditioner, don't ignore those feelings. Call Any Hour Services for help with air conditioner maintenance, repair, or to schedule a free second opinion. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
KSL News Time, 8:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
starting tomorrow, we could see 100 degrees and up for 6 straight days in Salt Lake City, including 3 days later this week, we could potentially hit 105. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, the Deer Springs fire is about 15 miles south of Bryce Canyon National Park and is now over 9,100 acres and 0% contained. Fire officials believe it was human-caused.
Third, traffic and weather together.
I-15 traffic still heavy as you come over Point of the Mountain. You might be in some slowing if you're near 5300 South right now on the northbound side, but southbound looks clear now from Ogden back to Salt Lake. Your travel time is now just 30 minutes again. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's our last day in the 90s, then it's triple digits. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, sunny and 73 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
President Biden, within the hour, has taken a step to fend off any reaction from his own party in Washington as they get back to action there in the Congress this morning. Let's get the latest from ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Lawmakers are back in Washington this morning with renewed questions about President Biden's future. ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers has more on what the president's telling those in his party.
President Biden says in a new letter addressed to, quote, fellow Democrats that he is firmly committed to staying in this race, running to the end and beating Donald Trump. He tells his party he has had extensive conversations with party leaders, elected officials, and voters, and he understands the concerns being expressed, but says, quote, I wouldn't be running again if I did not absolutely believe I was the best person to beat Donald Trump in 2024. After detailing the record he's running on, the president writes, quote, it is time to come together, move forward as a unified party, and defeat Donald Trump. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
This week, the president hosts the NATO summit in Washington. He will hold several events, including a news conference with reporters. Hurricane Beryl knocking out power to about 400,000 homes and businesses in the Houston area and further south, where the Category 1 storm came ashore on the Gulf. It hit 120 degrees in Las Vegas over the weekend, the all-time hottest day ever there.
We're drinking lots of water and trying to stay in the vehicle as much as possible, just driving up and down the strip. But it is sweltering hot.
That tourist from Kentucky. Boeing is pleading guilty to one count of criminal fraud and will pay a $243 million fine as part of a deal with the Justice Department that the families of those killed in 2 737 MAX crashes are not happy with.
This deal is controversial because family members of those who died in those crashes do not believe the penalties are near harsh enough, and they want company executives charged as well. DOJ officials say senior company officials could still face charges.
ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas. The biggest children's hospital in Ukraine, the target of a missile barrage in the capital of Kyiv today. Hundreds of children evacuated had to be treated on the street. You're listening to ABC News.
All right, Dave and Dujanovic coming up. It's just going to be Dave. Dujanovic is on vacation.
Yes.
The summer months.
I know, it's crazy. Talk to us about Colby Jenkins.
Okay, so Colby Jenkins, who's in just a razor-thin race with Celeste Malloy for Congressional District 2 in the Republican primary, still just a few hundred votes separating the two. He just filed a lawsuit because he's trying to get voters' names and addresses of uncured ballots. So people might be like, well, what in the world is an uncured ballot? You know how when you sign your ballot?
Yeah.
Well, they have to compare that signature with what they have on file. If they don't match, then they are uncured.
Yeah.
And until they can prove, like, oh, that's really you, maybe your signature has changed, they don't count that ballot. So there's still, in Washington County specifically, a little over 500 uncured ballots. So these have not been counted yet. And unless they can cure them, unless they can verify the signature in some way, they will not be counted. So what Colby Jenkins is hoping is that they can get this list, and then they can reach out and contact people. They don't know who they voted for.
Are they allowed to do that, or is that something that only the clerk is allowed to do?
That is the discussion. So typically it has just been something that the clerk has handled. But there is some discrepancy. He's asked all 13 county clerks for this information. Only one, apparently Salt Lake County, according to the Deseret News report that I'm reading, only Salt Lake County said, oh, yeah, you can ask for that. You can have these things. Every other county clerk has denied that, and they're pushing back. So we're going to chase this down and figure out whether or not these lists are even available to candidates, because if they're also going to start reaching out and saying, hey, just so you know, your vote has not been counted yet, you need to contact the county clerk. That's
It'd
what
be weird
Jenkins
to have
is
a call from the candidate, wouldn't it?
A little bit.
If you voted for the other person.
Well, I'll tell you why that's interesting. The separation count is only 300 votes right now, isn't it? And if there's 500 that are uncured in Washington County, how many more might be hanging out there?
What's especially interesting is Colby Jenkins is winning Washington County
big time,
about 60-40.
Wow! All right,
so this could definitely play well for him, and we'll again continue to follow what is going on, and because by the end of the day, this is when the counting stops. This is when the canvas ends. So it is time crunch in a big time.
Okay.
So who's co-hosting today?
Adam Gardner.
Oh, nice.
Is joining us.
We look forward to it. Coming up top of the hour.
Right now, 8:19. Let's get a look at traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents per gallon, Andy.
Amanda, delay on I-15 right now just as you go up to the 7200 south to 215 stretch of the main flow. Looks better again on Mountain View and Bangerter. No more delays through the West Valley portion. Same on the 21st South Freeway. It's the full speed limit from Magna to Salt Lake City. Heather?
You'll have to add about a minute or two to your drive southbound I-15 from Ogden to Salt Lake. That is due to slowdowns between Beck Street and the downtown area. Everybody else, though, pretty much at freeway speeds, especially on the major freeways in Weber and Davis counties. City streets have a little bit of congestion in Clearfield and Ogden, but overall a great drive. Eric?
Eastbound I-80 still got a crash about a mile before the top of Parley Summit. Still over on the right-hand side and still not causing delays. Just keeping an eye on that for you. If you continue past Kimball Junction exit, you've got some usual slowing on the right lane, trying to get over to the exit to go south south on US 40 at Silver Creek. I-15 in Utah County looking good northbound. SR 36 in Tooele County, just a little bit of slowing at Lake Point. The legendary Big O brand tire is on sale now during the Big O Tire sizzling summer sale. Stop in to save up to $100 off the Bigfoot AT or Legacy tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. We've got some absolutely scorching hot temperatures on tap. Today's not bad though. Sunny skies, 94. Enjoy it because it's going away. Tomorrow, 100 degrees, sunny skies. Wednesday, 103, heat dome building. Thursday, we got 105. We lock it in at 105 again on Friday and Saturday. The only difference is we'll see some partly cloudy skies by Saturday afternoon. Sunday, 101, partly cloudy. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Salt Lake City this hour, beautiful day so far, 73 degrees, and the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
So I just had to confirm that with Dave. So they have to fix this curing process today.
Today.
Okay.
How quickly can you get those answers from the county?
I don't know. Hey, people, answer the phone. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Stay tuned tomorrow morning. We'll have whatever we know then for you here on KSL News Radio.
Our news time now is 8:23.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA MCO.
Gillette Heating and Air Conditioning is offering spring air conditioner tune-ups for only $59. Call 385-GET-COOL to schedule today. A Carrier Factory authorized dealer.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support, and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store, and I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought him. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Stop by the Good Feet store in Farmington, Riverton, or Sandy for a free fitting. Call 1-800-NEW-FEET or visit goodfeet.com.
If you're a sports fan, you need to be at the biggest sports fanatic event ever created, Ultimate Sports Bash. Happening this weekend at Mountain America Expo Center. Watch performances by the dunk team that you've seen perform at the Utah Jazz Games, pickleball, wrestling, and half-pipe performers. With clinics and panels with some of your favorite athletes and coaches, like Ute football coach Kyle Whittingham. Meet your heroes, like Jazz royalty Brian Russell and Greg Ostertag. BYU alum, Minnesota Vikings QB Jaron Hall. Utes alum, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver Britton Covey. And Wheels, formerly of Nitro Circus. There's even a sports car show. All the panels, performances, photo ops, and autographs you can smash into 2 days. Tickets on sale now at ultimatesportsbash.com. And now offering a 2-day family pass for just $150. Get yours now at ultimatesportsbash.com.
Watching Utah's Money, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, trajanwealth.com. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is working on improving a trade deal with the European Union. Starmer is touring around Scotland, Ireland, and Wales because he says he can get a better deal than the one former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, quote-unquote, botched.
Going to be a while before we can get used to saying Prime Minister Keir Starmer, I think, for both of us. It's official. Entertainment giant Paramount is agreeing to merge with Skydance. Skydance has helped Paramount produce some major films over the last few years, including Top Gun Maverick and a few installments of Mission Impossible. The new combined company, valued at $28 billion, and Skydance's founder will be the CEO of what they're calling New Paramount.
Despicable Me 4 was the weekend's winner at the box office. The sequel of the popular popular kids series brought in $75 million in ticket sales over the holiday weekend, more than $122 million since its opening Wednesday night. Another animated favorite was number 2, Inside Out 2, made $30 million this weekend, and A Quiet Place Day 1 dropped to third with $21 million.
Markets are still in the green a full hour into the trading day now, but we're losing a little bit of steam. The Dow up 160, the S&P is up just 8, the NASDAQ on the plus side now by 30.
Just a little slow in the normal places like northbound I-15 in Murray, but we'll check at traffic and weather coming up next.
Summer is the season of sun, fun, and freedom.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no better way to take advantage of every minute and every mile than with a low-rate auto loan from America First Credit Union. Plus, for a limited time, when you finance your new vehicle with America First, you can let your wallet enjoy some time off, too, with no payments for 90 days. So make your summer move. Head to AmericaFirst.com to apply for pre-approval of your low-rate auto loan today. Eligibility, terms, conditions, and creditworthiness apply. Subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Seriously, this is what my money is doing. Playing games. Right now, Nicole's money is remodeling her kitchen.
I don't know how to do that.
Nicole said it's easy. She just called America First Credit Union and got a fantastic rate on a home equity loan.
No!
I'm calling America First.
Get your money working. Visit AmericaFirst.com and get a 0.25% discount on our low-rate home equity loans. Subject to eligibility, terms, conditions, and property criteria. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Just 2 weeks left before the historic announcement.
Tim is going to Paris. He'll be live for us on KSL all that week.
Get special coverage on the final preparations and decision for Salt Lake City 2034. Listen at 7:30, 8:30, and 10:30 in the morning this week on KSL News Radio.
8:29, traffic and weather together is back again, brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon, and he's back in the traffic center.
And right now, if you're traveling on the freeway heading towards downtown, the drive is going to be a little bit slow, only in one spot if you're just crossing 215 right now, heading up to 53rd South. The rest of the way, you should stay at the speed limit. All earlier slowdowns on the 201 freeway and on northbound Bangerter through West Valley and Taylorsville have cleared. Heather?
We've been accident-free all morning long in Weber and Davis counties, and for the most part, you're going to be at freeway speeds if you're on I-84, I-15, Legacy Parkway. Now, a few of the city streets have a little bit of congestion. Mostly we're seeing that when lights turn red at larger intersections, and a few cars back up, but no excessive delays right now. Eric?
Coming out of Tooele County, SR 36 looks good. Earlier, we had a crash in Tooele itself as you headed out of town, but that's long since been cleared. And we really haven't seen any major trouble spots going up to I-80. I-15 in Utah County, it's looking good. You have a little bit of westbound slowing on University Parkway in Orem going from State Street over to the south end of Utah Valley University. Pedestrians only cross at crosswalks. Drivers, slow down and hover over your brake around pedestrians. Meet in the middle so your paths don't. A message from Utah Department of Public Safety. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
And the weather forecast, 94 today, but tomorrow, 100, 103 Wednesday, 105 on Thursday, and we stay there for a few days. Right now, it's sunny and 73 downtown.
You're listening to Utah's Morning News with Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon
on KSL News Radio.
102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good morning, KSL News Time, 8:30.
KSL's top story this hour.
It's a busy time for Salt Lake City's Committee for the Games as they prepare to head to Paris for one final pitch on why we should host the 2034 Olympics.
KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson reports.
Hopeful but humble. That's how President and CEO of the committee, Fraser Bullock, and his team feel as they prep for Paris. Over the next 2 weeks, they'll be polishing up their presentation and finishing up contractual discussions with the International Olympic Committee. Then on July 24th, Pioneer Day, they'll get up on stage and give their final pitch before the IOC. Then the IOC will vote, and around 3 a.m. Utah time, we will know if Utah will be officially awarded the 2034 Winter Games.
Tomorrow, Salt Lake City's Committee for the Games will preview the presentation so Utahns will know what to expect on the big day.
By the way, another Utah native will head to Paris this summer for the Olympics. Whitney Orton Morgan is a distance runner and a BYU alum. She grew up in Panguitch. The small city has a population under 2,000 people. She's one of the 8 runners now from the state that are headed to the games.
Starting tomorrow, we could see 100 degrees and higher for 6 straight days. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has more.
We're looking at a high of 94 today in Salt Lake City, but this is what follows. Tomorrow, 100. Wednesday, 103. Then Thursday through Saturday, we're looking at 105. And KSL meteorologist Matt Johnson says those days we have the chance to break a record.
The all-time record high for Salt Lake City is 107. Yes, it is not off the table.
And we could hit 100 again on Sunday. Today, St. George begins a 5-day stretch where they could hit 110 and up. Thursday, their high is 115. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Doctors say they're seeing a small increase in burn patients. KSL News Radio's Candy Zilale has the story.
If you're burned, Dr. Giovanni Lewis has some tips on how to handle that.
We recommend that you cool the area with cool water. After that, we want to dry it and then put a dry dressing on and then seek medical assistance. And that could be your local urgent care.
Parents and guardians should check playground equipment before children play on it. If you're doing fireworks, be sure to follow your city's guidelines and safety tips. And make sure to keep your barbecue grills clean and away from homes, children, and pets. Candy Zilale, KSL News Radio.
Pet owners near the avenues are on edge after multiple reports of pet deaths and coyote sightings. KSL News Radio's Beryl Johansson reports.
Salt Lake County Animal Services says they've gotten multiple reports of dead pets, which they suspect were because of wildlife attacks. At the same time, they've been hearing about coyotes being spotted in the area. While they don't know for sure what kind of animal was the culprit, officials are asking owners in the area to keep their pets inside and on a leash when you take them outside. Beryl Johansson, KSL News Radio.
Now KSL's top national stories. Hurricane Beryl is slamming the Texas coast with flooding rains and damaging winds.
Surfers in Galveston kicked off the beach. The conditions too dangerous.
This is what we came for. This is what we do This is what we do. Like, we love to surf. We love to get out there on the waves, get reckless, get crazy.
Officials saying they're concerned more people did not evacuate the coast.
Key phrase there, we love getting reckless.
Yeah.
And they're trying to save your life. ABC's Andrew Dimbert says winds have reached 80 miles an hour in that area.
Las Vegas hit record-breaking heat this weekend. The city hit 120 degrees. A visiting newlywed couple is trying to get by.
We drank more water than I think we've ever drank before.
Plenty of water. It's the best way to do it. Plenty of sunscreen as well.
The excessive heat is expected to last through the week.
I don't think you'd even want to be out by the pool.
Oh, no, you couldn't. Even with those spritzer
weather.
things, I just think that would be, Yeah.
All right, first look traffic. How we looking, Andy?
Well, if you're on I-15, the drive from Draper to downtown is just a little bit slow in Midvale is all right now. Davis County all clear, as is Weber County on the freeway. We've got some slowing in Big Cottonwood Canyon, it looks like, a little bit after the hydroelectric power station. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
A county commissioner in southern Utah is refusing to certify the results of the primary election because of late mail-in ballots. KSL News Radio's Michael Commute has more.
According to Commissioner Paul Cozens in Iron County, more than 700 votes throughout southern Utah were supposedly mailed after the June 24th deadline. However, what he and other county leaders suspect is southern Utahns did mail in their ballots on time, but the postal route slowed down the process. Mail is taken to Las Vegas instead of somewhere in Utah, meaning these ballots could have been postmarked after the deadline in Nevada. And it's this postal route that is really earning the ire of county leaders. On social media, Commissioner Cozen says he can't, in good conscience, vote to certify the election while hundreds of Utahns won't have their vote count. Michael Commit, KSL News Radio.
The race for the 2nd Congressional District still too close to call a week and a half later. As of Friday, there are just 300 votes apart. Representative Celeste Malloy polling ahead. Her challenger, Colby Jenkins, is hoping for a recount, challenging Washington County officials.
A man is now at Salt Lake County Jail after his $20 bribe to have officers let him go didn't work. Imagine that. It didn't work, Tim.
$20.
21-year-old Santiago Medina was suspected of assaulting a store clerk in West Jordan who wouldn't sell him alcohol because he was already intoxicated, or seemed so. He was arrested on multiple charges. Later, while on the way to jail, Medina repeatedly offered $20 in exchange for taking him home or letting him go free on the side of the road. The officers, of course, declined that and added a felony charge of offering a bribe to the list of potential charges.
Yeah, that's an expensive $20. Nearly a decade ago, a husband and wife rallied to raise funds for a friend battling cancer. Today, their foundation supports over 75 Utah residents in their own fights against the disease, uniting the tattoo community for a powerful cause.
Inc. Against Cancer President Hildegard Koenig and her vice president husband Jay were inspired to found their nonprofit by a friend's request to extend their help to others facing cancer.
And our foundation is different from others because it doesn't matter the type of cancer and the age.
Their efforts include organizing multiple fundraising events annually to support what they term as Cancer Warriors, culminating in their largest event at the fairgrounds this weekend. More than 30 artists will participate, pledging 50% or more of their proceeds to the cause. Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can tell you firsthand it's a great organization. My ex-wife, my kid's mom, who died of cancer 3 years ago now, actually received some money from this organization, Inc. Against Cancer.
Oh, wow.
They do great work.
That's terrific. I can't believe it's been 3 years, Tim.
I know.
All right, let's get a look coming up in just a moment at the commute. I guess we still have some normal spots of delay, but we'll check it. Traffic and weather together just ahead.
Join your friends who rely on KSL each morning for the fastest routes to work and school.
I am listening for the traffic. I'll always know if somebody's going to be late to work. That's often what's on when I'm driving.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s.
On KSL News Radio.
Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors. Did you know that we offer 3 distinct styles of gutter protection? Each one meant to handle a specific leaf problem. You might not even know there are different styles of gutter protection, but there are. And if you pick the wrong one, it could be a huge waste of money. Now, the big gutter guard companies won't tell you this. They try to sell you a one-size-fits-all gutter guard. And it could be completely wrong for the amount and types of trees and leaves you have. Not RGS Exteriors. We understand which kind of leaf problem needs which kind of gutter guard. We'll do an in-depth evaluation to assess the types, locations, and numbers of trees in your yard. Based on that data, we match your home to the right gutter guard. So don't risk wasting money on the wrong gutter protection. For a free evaluation and estimate, call RGS Exteriors at 801-280-3110 or visit rgsexteriors.com. That's 801-280-3110 or rgsexteriors.com.
Hey you, I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
KSL News Time, 8:39. Time for a look at traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Sinclair's DinoPay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Here's Andy.
Right now, if you're on I-15, you're all clear of delays. It's just a little bit heavy as you go past 7200 south, but looks like, especially if you're in the left lanes, you'll stay at the full speed limit. Looks good on Mountain View, Bangerter, and the 201 freeway. Foothill, though, backing up again in that stretch between about 21st South and 2300 East intersection. Heather?
The brake lights are back. Southbound I-15 approaching 5600 South in Roy. Once you get past there, you're back up to freeway speeds until you hit the North Interchange in North Salt Lake. And then after that, you'll be just under the posted speed limit into downtown Salt Lake City. The good news is the other major freeways in Weber and Davis counties, that's I-84, US 89, Legacy Parkway, they're all traveling at speed in all directions. Eric?
That crash that has been about a mile before the Parley Summit exit, if you're eastbound I-80, that's still there. Well, the semi is still there. Everybody else has moved on, but it never really caused any delays. And if you're eastbound I-80, the only slowdowns you're going to encounter is right at Silver Creek, where you would turn south to go onto US 40 down to Heber. I-15 Utah County, northbound, southbound, that's in great shape. Is the IRS harassing you? Are tax problems ruining your life? Let Utah Tax Attorney Jordan Wilcox help. Visit taxhelput.com. That's taxhelput.com. Eric Butler, KSL Traffic Center.
We'll bring it up a couple of degrees from yesterday. How about a high this afternoon of 94 with sunny skies? Overnight, not bad, 68, clear skies. Tomorrow, 100 degrees, sunny skies. We jump to 103 sunny skies on Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Sunny downtown this hour, 73 degrees.
Some House Republicans want to see President Biden's medical records, maybe even speak with his doctor. We got some more information about that with the ABC's Stephen Portnoy this morning, and we'll share it with you next on KSL.
Remember to watch for us streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
A secure retirement just doesn't happen by accident. When that day comes, what's most important to you? Are you sure to have more money than month? What about unexpected medical costs? Do you want to leave something to the kids or the grandkids? I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know we specialize in these questions and can help make your retirement dream a reality with some of the highest guarantees in the business. Imagine getting up to a guaranteed 12% growth on your retirement income and up to a 30% bonus up front just for opening an account. If you have funds sitting idle in an old 401k or IRA, consider guaranteeing it to secure the peace of mind you deserve. Don't leave your financial security to chance. Take advantage of the highest guarantees I've seen in my career. Call Trajan today at 801-899-7600. That's 801-899-7600. Or visit us online at TrajanWealth.com.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
She wants a diamond, and you want to give her one. Sierra West Jewelers carries beautiful laboratory-grown diamonds with 90 pointers starting at only $499, 1 carat starting at only $789, and 2 carats start at $1,698. If it's fine jewelry you want, find it at Sierra West Jewelers, across from the malls in Sandy, Orem, and Murray, or at SierraWestJewelers.com.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
KSL News Time, 8:45. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
with a little more than 2 weeks until the Olympics in Paris, it's a busy time for Salt Lake City, Utah's Committee for the Games as they put the final touches on their presentation to host the 2034 Olympics. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, starting tomorrow, we could see 100 degrees and higher for 6 straight days in Salt Lake City, including 3 days later this week. We could hit 105.
Third, it's traffic and weather together.
15 is mostly clear. It's a little bit heavy still around 53rd South. It looks good as you come east on the 201 freeway. Foothill a little bit slow, and we still have some slowdowns on I-80 just after Kimball Junction heading towards the Highway 40 exit. I'm Andy Farnsworth in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today's high of 94 is the calm before the heat dome. I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now, 75 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
We found out about an hour ago that President Biden sent a defiant message to congressional Democrats. Let's get the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Biden has sent a letter to his fellow Democrats telling his party that he has had extensive conversations with leaders, elected officials, and voters, and that he understands the concern, but he will not step aside. Biden says he feels he is still the best person to beat Donald Trump in 2024. Boeing pleading guilty to one count of fraud and agreeing to pay $243 million in fines in exchange for avoiding a trial. Many of the families of those killed in two 737 MAX plane crashes are against the Justice Department deal, saying it doesn't go nearly far enough. Hurricane Beryl coming ashore in South Texas is a Category 1 storm.
In Sargent Beach, storm surge moving in.
Oh, wow.
Overtaking the area. High winds and waves hammering vehicles. In Freeport, Texas, numerous power flashes as winds began taking out power lines.
ABC's Victor Okendo, nearly 400,000 power outages right now because of it. This is ABC News.
Let's go in depth now as House Republicans are asking to see President Joe Biden's medical records.
We spoke with ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy about it this morning.
This strikes me, frankly, as a little bit of a gambit on the part of House Republicans to take advantage of the crisis going on now in the Democratic Party. They want Dr. Kevin O'Connor, the president's physician, to come up to Capitol Hill to answer questions about what advice he's been giving the president. And in particular, they want to ask, and this is the tie to their broader investigation, about the fact that James Biden, the president's brother, mentioned Dr. O'Connor's name in an interview that he did about his business affairs in the period of time when Joe Biden was not vice president, not yet president. James Biden was involved with some sort of hospital company and asked Dr. O'Connor for some strategic advice, and that's the tie to the broader investigation about the Biden family business. And we'll see if President Biden tries to get ahead of a possible subpoena. Maybe he invokes executive privilege. Wouldn't be a huge surprise, given the fact that the president's physician, generally speaking, is not usually expected to come to Capitol Hill and testify before a committee controlled by the opposing party. The bigger picture is that a growing number of Democrats in Congress are now calling for the president to step aside. And yesterday, in a meeting on Zoom led by the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, you had 4 Democratic ranking members. These are the top Democrats on key committees saying that they believe that President Biden should step aside. And these are bold-faced names here in Washington. Jerry Nadler of New York, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Adam Smith of Washington State, the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee, among them. Now, so far, no senators have yet publicly said that they believe Joe Biden should step down from the top of the ticket. But Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia, has been talking about possibly getting some sort of movement going. There was supposed to be a meeting. It's been scrapped. The Democrats in the Senate will meet tomorrow for the regular lunch, and maybe it'll come up there. The president, in his ABC News interview on Friday night, told George Stephanopoulos that he has not yet heard from any senior Democrat in Congress that he should step aside. In fact, he says only if the Lord Almighty comes down from on high will he step aside. But he also says that at the end of the day, he feels even if Donald Trump wins, as long as he gave it his all and did as good a job as he knows he can do, that's what this is about. An answer that has been ringing in the ears of Democrats since Friday night.
And I think we'll probably hear a little more of this over the next couple of weeks, don't you think?
Yeah, with Congress back in session after the 4th of July break. And that may be why the president set that message out this morning, is just to try and stave off what could be coming later this week.
And that's the In-Depth at 15:45.
All right, let's see how the roads are doing. If you're still making your way in this morning, traffic and weather together. Brought to you by Sinclair's Dino Pay app. Save up to 20 cents a gallon. Andy?
Well, right now, if you're traveling on I-15, the drive is a little bit heavy still around 53rd South. We've got some busy traffic in downtown Salt Lake City, including coming off the freeway on 600 South and some foothill delays going up from 17th South up to the 13th South intersection. Heather?
Looks like we may have a crash southbound I-15 in the North Salt Lake area. We've got some slowing as you come down through that area. One of our KSL traffic tipsters letting us know about that. That's right around Warm Springs Road, and traffic backing up quickly to Center Street in North Salt Lake. Otherwise, you've got a good drive in Weber and Davis counties. No problems on Legacy Parkway, the West Side Belt, or I-84. Eric?
I-15 in Utah County northbound looking good. Now on the southbound side, we do have some slowing in Linden between the Pleasant Grove Boulevard Boulevard exit and 1600 North in Orem, so we may have an accident there. Northbound Redwood Road looks good up to Camp Williamson into Bluffdale and Riverton. Is the IRS harassing you? Are tax problems ruining your life? Let Utah Tax Attorney Jordan Wilcox help. Visit taxhelput.com. That's taxhelput.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. We've got a 6-day stretch of 100 degrees. We start with our last day in the 90s today at 94. Tomorrow, 100. Into Wednesday, sunny, 103. Thursday, 105. Friday, 105, mostly sunny skies. Partly cloudy, 105 for a third straight day. On Saturday, Sunday dialing it back to 101, partly cloudy skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, 75 degrees, and the 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
You know, all this talk about temperatures in Las Vegas, I think the Big 12 media days are down there, aren't they?
Really? Tomorrow and Wednesday?
I'll have to double check that, but
Stay inside, boys.
I'm pretty sure it's in Las Vegas. The media days happen tomorrow and Wednesday, so you can count on, of course, the home of the Cougars, keeping a close eye on all that comes from Big 12 media days throughout the week. We'll check in with our sports team here on KSL.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At slcfatloss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects, go to slcfatloss.com now to schedule your free consultation in person or virtually.
I'm Maria Chaleos. I lost 25 pounds in the first 60 days on Salt Lake City Fat Loss, and I'm now starting my second round of the program. Life's too short not to make a change and feel good about yourself. You can now save $200 by mentioning my name at slcfatloss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 801-450-1882 or go to slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Any Hour Services can make sure your AC keeps you cool this summer. Whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
Discover the best of senior living at Trio Orem and Trio South Ogden. Today's older adults aren't wrapping up their life's journey, they're seeking a new one. And Trio Independent Living is here to help them do just that. With a smart, modern, and connected lifestyle, residents cultivate relationships and maximize independence through signature programs like Prime Fit Wellness that bring living well and well-being to life. Welcome to the new age of senior living. Schedule your visit at leisurecare.com/Utah today.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
One more look at Utah's money this morning, brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. Scammers are stealing tens of billions of dollars from Americans every year, and the AARP reports that internet and telephone scams have been growing exponentially in the last few years, and not very many perpetrators are caught. They believe many of them are from overseas.
Tesla shareholders are going to court today because they're asking the company to pay more than $7 billion in attorney's fees. That request is outlandish, according to these shareholders. This is the latest twist in a legal showdown over Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package. So did they get like a cut of that? Or they must have gotten a cut of that.
I have no idea, but
There's no way you have billable hours worth $7 billion.
No. Goodness gracious,
One
I
of the-
hope not.
One of the shareholders had sued over Musk's stock options in 2018 and ultimately won when the package was voided in January.
All speed, no thunder. NASCAR's first electric race car was unveiled by a handful of car companies in Chicago. They're using a $1.5 million prototype to gauge fan interest in electric racing. I wonder how you handle that. Would the battery be enough to run, say, a 500-mile race?
Yeah, when you come into pit, I mean, you do tires and all that normal stuff.
Jump it on the Charger and hope you can get it back out on the track. NASCAR's head of sustainability says they want to represent electric vehicles in racing as cool, fun, and accessible.
It's a new day, Tim, for
Yeah.
sure. All right, let's get a look at your money at this moment. The Dow is up 149 right now. That's 0.4%. We're at 39,530. S&P is up 3, and the NASDAQ is off 0.07, just a fraction.
Maybe you change the tires and throw a new battery in.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Right lane closed southbound I-15 down near the Beck Street exit if you're heading through Davis County or toward downtown. We'll check traffic and weather together one last time next.
One of the best ways to find out about 3-Day Kitchen and Bath is actually to hear the results for yourself. On the phone with us is Wendy in Darwin. Wendy, you got a brand new bathroom.
I do, and it's beautiful.
Are you loving it?
I am